streaming live, just to let you know. Okay. Tom Hanks on Saturday Night Live the first time when he runs up and does the sound tech for the band. I can't remember what the band was. Check, 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 check. Sibilance, sibilance, sibilance. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, check. Hopefully you both heard me. I can only be so obnoxious.
I did. Let's see.
Start streaming mode. Co-streaming on 2 different Twitch channels. You clicked the button on the mouse, but you'll need the whole damn thing.
Let's see. You got to stream together. Okay. Start streaming together.
Do I have to hit invite guests? I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and you know that.
I'm trying to figure it out. Let's see.
Cancel.
It says start streaming together. Let's see. How do I do this?
Twitch. The Reckoning.
Just a second. I'm calling an expert help.
I don't even know how to, invite guests? Maybe that's it? Search for someone online. Oh, no.
No. Yes.
All right. Well, he's doing that since we're both live. Let's grab one from today.
Should be sending you an invite. Something should pop up over there.
Okay. Oh, I see something. Yes. Aha!
There we are. All right.
Stream this video.
We're not done yet. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
But wait, there's more.
Should tell you that I've started sharing chat.
Hold on, I was looking for dad jokes. Ooh, it threw me back into the main. Wait, oh, shit. Stay in the current session. It's you and me. Share chat is on. I click that, right? Now it has you and me together. Do I hit chat to make it all happen?
Yes.
I'm gonna press it.
It should already be shared. Let me test something.
Test.
Did you see?
Check.
Something should have popped up in your chat. No.
Also, yes. Martin Cat said, "Hey" to me. Nice.
Okay, cool. Then you saw it, and I saw yours. All right, we're good to go. Let me
Nice. Dude, I love this. I totally need that. I only have 22 followers on Twitch. They don't love me here. They despise me.
Oh, I think I closed it.
Yeah, you cannot close it.
Oh. Don't do that.
Hey, expert help.
All right, I guess
Help us.
I might have canceled it by closing the thing that I shouldn't have closed. But hold on.
So can I?
Nope, we're still together. Restart stream together. There we go.
Go to Ship of Fools channel. Okay. Did that work again? Because I just want to.
All right. Yeah. You'll have to go to the
You don't have to look at it. You can minimize it, but it needs to be open.
streamer dashboard and then stream together. I sent you an invite. You should accept it. And then you have to minimize that window that popped up without closing it.
Minimize the window without closing it, even though that's okay. Minimize without closing.
There. There should be shared chat, and then minimize the window, and we should be good to go.
Here, let me. I think that worked because it says, oh. Okay, got it. Yay! I see her. Oh, man, right on. Science! As a known scientist, I would be pretty surprised that a girl would blindingly me with science. Science!
Yes, and it's showing you the same follower count that I'm getting. Cool!
This is the most followers I have ever had. Huzzah to the victors! Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I mean, obviously, one of them's me, but thank you. Huzzah. And we're waiting for the blacksmith. I scared somebody away. Sorry. Oh, hold on. Oh, the blacksmith will not be attending the, well, I'll wait till Clay gets his ears on there. Unfortunately, Blacksmith Rob is not feeling very well all day, and he will not be attending the podcast to help. He won't be here on the council tonight. He's going to tap out. He's not feeling well. Chris is preparing for what used to be called Cactus Comic-Con, which became Phoenix Comic-Con, which is now called Fan Fusion, because it's really more cosplay than comic books. So, did you want to do the intro, or shall I? It's up to you.
You go right ahead. I'm trying to track down where I'm getting echo. Oh, exactly where I'm getting an echo from. I need to mute your channel over there. So there we go.
I muted.
Science!
Usually my echoes come from the inside of my own mind. Sorry about that. It was just appropriate.
That was funny, and the sync is off, where your voice is perfectly crisp and clear now. It doesn't match your lips. So that is even better. It's like you're a translated character from another country.
Oh.
That was neat. Quick, read something like a paragraph. Sorry. Oh, yeah, we should. It's been 7 minutes. Hello and welcome to the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. My name is Bill Kelly, Hornswoggle the Great, peasant hero, Lord of the Bridge Trolls. They answered to me. I am one of your council members tonight, and also I have with me...
Hi, I'm Clay, Phoenix Made of Clay on YouTube. All kinds of board game silliness, and, well, you never know what you're going to see there. Am I still out of sync? I should get my lips worked on.
You're way out of sync. Keep going, though.
It's like living in a kung fu movie.
It'll get views.
And I am Rob Marsden, Jingo the Fool, Game Master at the Ship of Fools, Game Master at Large. You never know where I'm going to be popping up. I'm here tonight to run my mouth about all things geek. And we liken this show to like the minecart ride in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That's a good
We're
one.
going down the track. We'll pick up speed. It'll get real exciting. And all of a sudden we'll jump onto another track. It won't get any less dangerous. It'll just be going in a different direction.
If you can handle a lot of ADHD, you've come to the right place. I
want to show off my shirt today.
Thank you. I am, my beloved Firefly is being remade. I am very happy. Which one do you have on, Clay?
Oh, I have a Ghost Town from Knott's Berry Farm, celebrating a really, really good day at Knott's Berry Farm, where Dave and I went there, and halfway through the day, all the school kids went home, and we had the park to ourselves.
That sounds like
Hence, Ghost Town.
That sounds like the best day ever. One day we'll get Sir Dave Carter on the show. He's got so many stories. Not many people can say, "Oh yeah, I put on a medieval knight's costume and jousted in an amusement park in China." We'll get the story, don't worry. Anyway, welcome to episode 71. Wasn't lying about the ADHD. Tonight we're going to talk about several different topics, but we figured we'd start off on I have this wild theory, and the reason that a lot of, not just culture, but some history gets lost in between the cracks of humanity, and I call it the 30-year gap. It's kind of like every 30 years from every generation, that new generation has no idea what they're talking about, because you can do the best job ever as a parent, but you can't teach your kid everything. I mean, you're going to forget to teach them stuff, or forget to show them the movie, or forget that the movie existed because, you know, this or that, or the book, or the show, or the whatever. This came about, we were talking about the movie Commando, 1985, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Alyssa Milano, Vernon Wells, David Patrick Kelly. Just a fantastically fun movie. But the more you look at it, it's likened to what's going on right now with a video game called Pragmata. Is that you go to the moon?
I think that's the right name.
Pragmata.
Yeah.
You're a human guy, and you're a space marine, and you go to a lunar base, and the AI has taken over, but one little robot that's a little girl is alive. And dudes online have been, it's like all this controversy. It's been amazing to watch. As I said before, Lord of the Bridge Trolls. I don't want to be involved in the drama. Oh, but I will start it and sit there and eat popcorn as it, yeah. Anyway, so Commando is basically the 1985 version of the precursor to that. If you haven't seen the movie, watch it. It's Arnie at his peak, just after the movie Conan. I think he
right
did
before the movie. What was the other one he did?
Raw Deal.
Raw Deal.
Yeah, it's right before. It's not Hercules in New York or the one where he's a cowboy. Sorry, I love Arnie. It's not making fun of Arnie. It's just, yeah, go little doggy. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's a colonel, an ex-special forces. And I'm retired, and the wife is dead, and he's just raising his daughter, Melissa Milano, who's like, what is she like?
Was it Alyssa Milano in that one?
Yeah,
Raw Deal had Ray Don Chong.
No.
No.
Ray Dong Chung is in both Commando with.
Yes.
She's not in.
And she doesn't look like anything like her father.
No, she doesn't. But it's Alyssa Milano.
She looks like
Especially
her
back
mother.
then.
Yeah, she's like cute and like, you know, it was like 1985, so she's like 12 in this movie. So they want him to do bad covert, go to the country, kill the leader, kill the corporate guy. No, I've got my daughter. And so he won't do it. And they basically kidnap his daughter and attack his house and force him to do the bad deed. And he's on the plane. Well, I don't want to give total spoilers away. And basically, the movie is one of those modern Arthurian fantasies where I'm a noble knight and I have my small kingdom. Hey, we're a bunch of dicks. Noble knight, you should come with us and fuck some shit up. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be here with my daughter. Oh, that's too bad. We'll see you later. Have a nice day. Hey, where's my daughter? Well, we took her. And now you got to do what we say, or things could go bad.
That never works out.
No, it really doesn't. It always bad. It's like that plot is the same plot as Poison. Like using, you're gonna, this is a boomerang, and it's not gonna end well. You're gonna end up killing everybody you love in the whole village. He's gonna do what Arnold does in the movie, escape, chaperonage, and then go on a killing spree and kidnaps Ray Dong Chung, and then she helps him, which, if you think about it, in a sense, she's trauma bonded to Arnold Schwarzenegger because she watches him kill a bunch of people, and he's like, yeah, help me. Much like he does in The Running Man with Maria, oh God, she's so hot. What's her name?
Conchita Alonso.
Oh, her. He scares the crap out of her. He can kill her. She knows this. Help me. So what is she going to do? And then it turns into Stockholm Syndrome, like Ray Dong Chung. Next thing you know, new mommy at the end of the movie. Vernon Wells gets killed. Let off some steam, Bennett. One of the best death scenes in Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. He kills him with an exhaust pipe. I love Vernon Wells, whether he's in Road Warrior or the tiny cameo in Weird Science or Commando. I absolutely love it. Clay and I were talking about Lethal Weapon. They're making another Lethal Weapon, or they're talking about, and really this doesn't need to happen.
Are they going to bring back Danny Glover and Mel Gibson? They're going to call it Rusty Weapon?
You know, we were talking about it, and if you looked at that, if you weren't a Gen Xer and you saw that movie now as a 20-year-old, that movie would not have the same meaning because of the 30-year gap, well, 40-year gap in this, 41-year gap in this case, because like the scene when the dude is going to kill himself and Martin Riggs goes up and he handcuffs himself to the guy. You want to jump? Do you want to die? Do you really want to die? In the 80s, that was a badass scene, and he was a crazy, reckless, devil-may-care. He's such a badass. Now, it would be looked at by critics as, hey, that man really needed help. He was trying to get help, and you just terrorized him and made it, it made it worse, and now he's got PTSD.
It would be overanalyzed.
No more than Crocodile Dundee when he saves the jumper, when he walks around the building. You're almost done when he's trying to... Hey, Safi. When he's trying to get the guy off the ledge. And that kind of is the same with the Commando, where... Can't you just talk to everybody? Do you have to kill everybody to get your daughter back? Yes, he's Arnie. Yes, he does have to kill everybody to get his daughter back. It's in the script.
It is. And people were, then that was his movie draw, watching Arnie go in and create mayhem. I mean, it was a long time before he did a comedy movie. The first one was Twins.
Twins.
And then he did Kindergarten Cop. And then he did True Lies.
Well, before that, he does Junior, which...
Okay, yeah.
Junior is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger comedy. They're all funny. He's a good actor. But Junior is on another level. And the best is... Have you seen it? I was telling Clay...
I have, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, he said the same thing. He's like, oh, man, I don't remember. One of the scenes that sticks in me forever, and it always makes me laugh, is... Arnold Schwarzenegger is packing up his office. He's a professor at a college, at biology, and they do other biology-related, that's their field. And Danny DeVito is like, he's a pediatrician, isn't he? Because... I
don't remember. Was he in Junior?
Yeah, he's a pediatrician, and they're using an orangutan, they're using a great ape to test a chemical that keeps miscarriages from happening. That's the whole that's the main plot of the movie. And what happens in the movie, Emma Thompson is involved, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's very upset, and he's going to leave, and Danny DeVito they're partners. They've been partners for years, and you can't leave. We've got all this research. We're almost done. We're 3/4 of the way there. No, I have to go. And he says, what are your colleagues going to think if you ditch out now in the middle of the thing? And Arnold looks at him all angry and he goes, I'm sure they will find someone else to imitate over coffee in the lounge. which implies
that is very self-aware.
Yeah, which implies that he's walked in on that before. Oh, come on. He's easy to lampoon. Especially that character. He's stiff. He wears suits. He carries himself. He's like he is in Red Heat.
That's a movie I've not seen.
It's fun. It's like Dead Heat. Don't take it seriously. Don't think. Just laugh and enjoy. Like Three Amigos. Just enjoy
Unless it's a documentary, I don't take it seriously anyways. It doesn't matter how serious it is. It's a movie.
I agree with you 100%. Because this is one person's interpretation of the events. And then a producer got involved. And then an executive producer. And then Hollywood had something to say. And, oh, man. They ruin everything.
But you're right. There are a lot of movies from 40 years ago that, you know,
You would not be able
just
to.
would not work today.
Yeah.
You couldn't make Blazing Saddles. People
No.
wouldn't understand it.
Lethal Weapon is the most interesting one because you would have, why aren't they helping him? And then Clay and I were talking about his interaction with the psychologist on the police force, where they know he's a ticking time bomb. They know he's dangerous. He does the drug bust when you first meet him, and he's shooting people and begging a guy to shoot him in the face. Dude, and then later he flips Danny Glover over in the office, and nobody does anything because they're all afraid of him. I think it has a lot to do with Vietnam, too, because that's, get a dog.
Was the character a Vietnam vet?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the main thing.
It's been a long time since
he was
I've
in
seen those
Laos,
movies,
and
yeah.
he shot a guy. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you. You said it's been a
No,
long
but-
time since you've seen the movie. They go to the shooting range, and they're talking about the case after the girl falls out of the penthouse, Michael Huntsacker. And, they're talking about it, and they're shooting. And when he brings the target back, Danny Glover tells Mel Gibson, "You sleep with that thing under your pillow, don't you?" And he says, "I would if I slept." And then later he tells him, "I was like 3 months in, and we were being attacked, and I was in Laos, and he shot a guy in, like, between the eyes from 1,000 meters. And from then on, they were like, he became a specialty sniper. But then after you come home, hey, you're done killing people for 8 years. Now go be a civilian."
No.
And Vietnam was different. World War I, coming home, they were heroes. Cuban, they were heroes. World War II, they were heroes. Korea, Grenada, all that stuff. Vietnam, no. The political climate had changed. It was one of the first televised wars, which really opened up a lot of eyes for a lot of people on the gravity of things. And it's my father and Ed and many other Vietnam vets tell the same story coming off airplanes, coming home in uniform and being harassed by just throngs of beatniks and hippies. And these are people that's like, why are you messing with these military people? They are going to beat the shit out of you.
True. Yeah, it was sad that, those troops had no choice to go over there and do what they did.
Yeah.
They should not have been, but, we had a government that was willing to let the anger fall on the troops as long as it didn't fall on them.
Yeah.
Which was sad.
Not just Blazing Saddles and all that, but if First Blood was made today, we would not have Rambo 1 through 13, or what are they making, 8 now?
No, First Blood was a great movie. The other ones
The other ones are fun.
should not have. Yeah, they're fun, but it's not even the same character, really, other than it shares the name and the actor.
Yeah. The characters are two totally different. Well, they're two extremes of the same personality, but you're right. There's only the sense of all of his suffering in the second movie when he frees the first vet. And he tells the guy it's 1986, and the dude's like, "What?"
Yeah, I was a really avid reader as a teenager, so I both watched Rambo and read the book several times. Both watched it several times and
I
read the book.
book, and the book was
Yeah.
excellent.
And he, the entire time, John Rambo is regretting what he's doing.
He doesn't want
He
to do
just-
it, but he's been pushed
yeah.
there.
Exactly. He just he feels he has to do it.
I forget the author, but I read a couple of other books by him, and they all. The other one I read was more of a spy novel about a guy that got recruited into a spy organization, and I don't remember the name of it. He got recruited into a spy organization and then had to infiltrate a cult.
I never read the First Blood Rambo. I never read any of those books. I knew they were books. I knew they existed, but I never got a chance.
No, the book didn't portray John Rambo as a superhuman badass either. Neither did the movie First Blood.
Not
He
really.
just knew how to make the best of a terrain and knew how to kill people, guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
The best is Troutman when he shows up and says, "You don't understand what you're dealing with. This guy is trained to live off the land and kill you, and you won't even hear him coming. You won't see him. He will drop out of the night and take you away, and that'll be the last of you."
That was the Richard Crenna character,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly that character. Because he's the one that because Brian Dennehy's character is he's the chief in a small team. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just got a drifter, and he thinks that this guy's going to be a problem. So he starts treating him the way he would treat a problem. And it goes sideways. So, I mean, even so, if you made that movie today, it would be more of a drama than it would be an action adventure, even though it is a drama.
There was some action, but I wouldn't really call First Blood an action movie.
No,
It was a suspense movie.
that's much better. It
had action, but the action wasn't the focus.
It's a suspense like Apocalypse Now, Uncommon Valor, Hamburger Hill,
I loved Uncommon Valor.
These are all Vietnam movies where it's different. The focus of World War II movies is, we're gonna get this. This focus of Vietnam movies is,
War sucks.
we're in this together, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, dude. This is fucked up. Let's go do it. And that it's more real because we're old men now, but kids don't understand what it was like talking to World War II vets. It was this weird, cultish. You don't understand. Back in the day, that goddamn Hitler and whoa, okay. And they had there wasn't the animosity between the forces during World War II and before, as there was kind of Korea on, and on from there, where they kind of talk smack about. Well, I mean, they all still get along. They work together. I mean, they're all Americans, but there's a little bit of animosity. Oh, Army, Navy, Marines, but there wasn't that. I mean, I'm sure it existed. I'm not going to say that it wasn't there, but for the most part, you didn't have a lot of that guy's a Marine, like the way that football dudes yell at other teams.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't see a lot of that when I was in the Army, but to be fair, there was only Army on our base except for a very small Air Force detachment. And, we'd razz them once in a while, call them the chair force and things, but for the most part, and they'd call us gravel agitators, but it was all kind of good-natured, more of a rivalry than an animosity.
I'd rather have that. That's better. Where you still support one another, but you're kind of, when no one's watching. That's okay.
One of my former managers, me and a couple of coworkers, this is years ago at the job I'm at, we're talking about our military service, and the manager came up and started talking about his military service, and we were talking about what service we were in, and when it got to him, he's like, I was in the Air Force. The Air Force? I thought you were in the military.
Sorry. I have a lot of good friends that were in the Air Force. That's not... Sorry.
I had an uncle in the Air Force, and, the Air Force... It has it. Everybody thinks that if you're in the Air Force, everything is about being in planes. No, the Air Force has soldiers as well. Who guards the Air Force bases? Air Force soldiers.
Yeah. Hey, my next door neighbor Rick was in the Air Force, and he learned carpentry. And he worked for ASU for 35 years, 40 years, and made classrooms. Did very well for himself.
Sounds like he was engineering corps.
I think he was. I mean, because that's, if you can go into the service, my dad always said that. If you're going to go in or you have to go in, get something that you can use in the real world. My brother parachuted into Germany, secured a building, and then came home to Philadelphia and spent 2 years eating Snicker bars in your grandmother's basement.
My dad joined the Army Air Corps at 16 under a fake name, and then 2 years later went AWOL and then joined under his real name, the Air Force, under his real name.
Hey, yeah.
So,
Money from Uncle Sam.
yeah. Yeah, well, he had to get off the farm. Got tired of picking that cotton.
Well, Charles Bronson. Sure, I couldn't wait to join the Army. That was the first time in my life I had 3 meals a day, because he's like one of 15 kids, and they're like dirt poor when he was growing up. Like, wow, I never thought about it that way, but yeah, you would kind of jump into that to get away from the farm, or to, if you're starving. I'll join the Army, yeah, where do you want me to sign? Clothes and shoes and boots, you're going to be toothpaste? This is awesome. Oh, I got to live with you? Oh, okay. For how long? Oh, okay.
No, it's definitely something I didn't want to do as a career. The Army taught me lots of things, mostly that I didn't want to do it the rest of my life.
You said the same thing about working on historic cars.
On cars in general.
Yeah.
I don't mind working on cars. I wouldn't want to do it for a living.
No, I can see on that one, because if you screw it up for yourself, you go, oh, God, I'm an idiot. But if you screw it up for a customer, I'm terribly sorry that I'm an idiot.
Well, yeah, most garages, they work on flat rate. So you got paid for that job. If it's not right, you get to fix it, and you've already been paid.
Yeah, I get paid to be an idiot and then punished for free. Damn it. Well, luckily, I put my Ford 46 Super Deluxe 6 two-door sedan up for sale. Clay listed it for me. Facebook banned me from posting on Marketplace.
Why?
I have no idea. And then they verify your phone number. You mean the same one I've been using for 20 years now? Or however, since since the Book of Face was new? We'll send you a text. Okay, here's my number. We'll send you a text. Okay, here's my number. We'll send you a text. Hey, Clay, can you make this thing...
Technology. Gotta love it.
What are you going to do? Oh, and then what were we talking about with Lethal Weapon 2? Were they just kind of like... By the third movie, how many psychological evals has that blonde doctor sent Riggs's boss? And the guy just, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. He's a danger to society. Here, take this case. Oh, my God, it's terrible. All the destruction he's caused. How much he's cost the city. Can you do something about these drug dealers? Thanks, Riggs. I don't know what to do, ma'am. Doctor? Didn't it seem like that? I mean...
Manically Crazy was something Mel Gibson always did well.
Oh, no, I've never touched his acting ability. But the reality of if that happened now, dude, he'd have been in this double straight jacket the first month if you pulled some of that shit.
Yeah, no, a movie like that. In that movie, he was portrayed as a good guy. If they made that movie now, he would be the bad guy. It would be more like Training Day.
Yeah, it would be.
He'd be out there doing the thing, and there would be other... And the movie would be about another cop trying to bring him down and stop him from doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that would be the focus of the movie.
Oh, my God, you're right. It would be Falling Down 2 with Michael Douglas, one of the greatest movies ever made.
I thought...
You forgot the briefcase!
Mel Gibson, the individual aside, my favorite Mel Gibson movie is Payback.
Yes. Yes. 40. It's 40,000.
Because that was, everybody's revenge fantasy, the just messed up shit he did. It's like, oh man, I could imagine doing that. Installing a roll cage and a 6-point harness in your car so that you can slam somebody else head on.
I was going to compare it to most of the movies from then, but since we've jumped ahead, I would say Payback is like a bouncer type, bodyguard fantasy as much as Nobody is every dude fantasy or every ex-military dude fantasy. Your average dude isn't going to be able to wipe out 7 guys on a bus, but a highly trained special forces guy has a pretty good chance to do it, and that's a great fucking movie. And the second one, both of them are awesome. But you're right. They wouldn't look at Payback, they wouldn't look at Lethal Weapon in a positive light. He would be a dark villainous character instead of a...
in Payback, he was a villainous character. He was a criminal that was screwed by other criminals and screwed them back.
But he's torturing criminals, so the scale...
Yeah, it's watching bad guys do bad things to each other. It's Grand Theft Auto, the movie.
It's Grand Theft Auto and The Sopranos, the movie.
And so you can root for him doing all those horrible things, and you can root for all the horrible things that happen to him because he's not a good person.
Yeah.
He's not. He's a scumbag. He's a scumbag that got screwed over and decided to get even. Payback.
I swear the meeting in the room, in the writing meeting, one of these guys that made Payback was like, I just saw the movie Mitchell. Let's take that movie and we'll make him an ex-hitman. And because in Mitchell, he keeps busting his girlfriend for smoking marijuana because he's a cop and she keeps lighting a joint in front of him because she's mental or whatever. He's busted you once. You don't think he's going to do it again? But in Payback, she does heroin. I named the dog Porter. But that Payback is a really, really good Mel Gibson. Whoops, wrong Mel. We love them both equally for two different... Well, one of the greatest things ever to come out of a Lethal Weapon movie was the Mel Gibson unauthorized video diary behind the scenes of Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. Falling down to the sudden stop will kill you. Well done.
Just real quick, for those of you watching in my channel, you notice that you're also watching on Hornswoggle Great's channel. That's Bill right up there. Please give him a follow. He's the other half of this channel. And
Clay.
Let's lift him up. And Clay. Clay doesn't have a channel, but we're working on that.
We're working on that. Yeah, we'll get that done. Oh. The sudden stop. That was funny. Now I forgot my train of thought has been derailed. It happens so much. Don't worry, I'll find it again in a minute when we're talking about something completely different, because that's how the brain works.
It does.
But what the hell were we just talking about?
We were talking about Mel Gibson movies.
Mel Gibson, the unauthorized video diary where he makes like a VHS movie about making the movie. It's my favorite part is he keeps throwing a mannequin dressed like him down flights of stairs. And then he'll stand up and dust it. Oh my God, I hope nobody saw that. And then he'll keep walking. And he does that like a bunch of times in the video. It's pretty funny. Or he's going to look for Danny Glover and he can't find Danny Glover. And then he finally goes in Danny Glover's trailer, but they cut to a fancy restaurant in Beverly Hills. And it's Mel Gibson walking around going, Danny! Danny! And everybody's like, oh my God, it's Mel Gibson. Or, it's really funny. It's just like goofy. He's making fun of Richard Donner, who directed the movies, and he fathered half the cast.
And see, that was back in the 80s when you could come out with a movie that had a decent premise and get at least two more movies out of that premise. Because the same thing with Die Hard. Movies tended to go in trilogies, and
Yes.
some movies broke the trilogy, but the Die Hard movies were all variations on a theme. They were all kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they were.
The Lethal Weapon movies were the same kind of a theme, but then you go over to the Terminator movies, and every Terminator movie gave you something different. Well, at least the first two.
Yeah.
I kind of fell off after the first two.
I tried to watch the third one. I think I don't remember. It's gotten kind of crazy now.
The third one is like, okay, now they have a different one, but how is this one better than the one that could turn into anything?
Yeah,
that was
the
pretty
Terminator,
much.
Predator
Same with
was
Alien.
supposed to be. Predator 2 was pretty good though. I enjoyed it. Then again, I'm a big Danny Glover and Bill Paxton fan, so.
Lava Being says Predator was supposed to be a Rocky movie, but they didn't think Rocky would fight an alien.
Hey, yo. Adrian! It'd be great. The best Stallone movie ever, I'm sorry, is a tie for first. Demolition Man and Oscar. You can yell at me in the comments. There you go. Oscar's brilliant. That and it made my dad laugh every single time I watched the movie, probably 36 times. And when Aldo opens the door and it's the accountant, hey, there's little Anthony and his Imperial, and he's got like a 1926, just this beautiful car. And my dad, because little Anthony and the Imperials were a doo-wop group.
Oh, I know who they were.
Oh,
yes.
trust me, I do too. Doo-wop. I knew about the Mills Brothers and the Platters and the Drifters and the Coasters. That's what I grew up on. So that was fun. But if you're a
We
kid,
grew up on Charlie Daniels and Merle Haggard and George Jones and Tammy Wynette and Coal Miner's Daughter and Johnny Cash and Outlaw Country and Waylon and Willie, and that's what I grew up on.
Same here.
It was big band music and classical and like folk. My mom was a folk. Kingston Trio and Peter, Paul and Mary and what's the other two? There's two more groups out of the 50s and the 60s that she was into. They were great. They're super talented. I love folk music. I did the Renaissance Festival since 1991.
Now, my grandparents were big into the big band and the standard singers. Singers of the 40s and the 50s.
We never really watched Lawrence Welk unless a artist that my father liked was going to be on it. And that never made any sense until I got older and I realized, he was kind of done with big band music because he had been playing it since he was 8 years old on the accordion and then later the organ and the piano. And then he had a band from the time he was like 15 or 16. And that's what the Holy Name Society and the Knights of Columbus back in the day wanted to hear.
When I was young, my parents would work second shift, so we'd stay with my grandparents in the evening. And in the afternoons after school, we'd watch all our afternoon kids shows, except for the half hour that Lawrence Welk was on, and my grandmother insisted that we watch Lawrence Welk. And so I know the words to all the old standards.
Fred Arnstein's imitation of Lawrence Welk is spot on. Oh my God. All right. Are we going to have the day? He was just like that.
We'll have a wonderful time. Wonderful time.
These are next singers. He
And a
really
one,
talked like
and a
that.
three, and a three.
It's the same thing with the. Oh crap!
So
What's
I
his...
got an appreciation for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no. Damn it! His name. We've got a really good shoe. What's his name?
Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan. Thank you. His name went right out of my head. I'm like picturing him, and the way he was very kind of robotic. The way he moved.
Yes, he was, but he would have the newest, latest acts on.
Bless you, Christians and Catholics like hearing that. There was a sneeze.
Yes, I had my.
And it was a woman because that's not in here.
It's the missus. She's right back there.
One day she'll be on the show. Thank you. Demolition Man was awesome. She agreed with me. I love Demolition Man. It's the perfect, like...
Look around. Do you see any cows?
It's
And then
the
he
rat.
takes a bite out of the burger.
Prego, this is number one. I don't care. I haven't had a burger in 100 years. It's it's so... It's Stranger in a Strange Land in the sense that he's from the past. It's also Time Machine. It's Brave New World, but the sex is not as everywhere as it is in the book. And it's also a bit 1984. Oh, what? Oh. Okay, you're all right. You're right. That was a 93 movie. I apologize. We jumped into the 90s. Some of those movies have...
Lava being asked what topic we had diverted from. We had started with the 30-year gap, how the movies that we grew up with, people today, the young beings today, haven't heard of most of them unless they're really cinephiles. And kind of drifted from there. But yes, we started with movies. And other media, the 30-year gap.
Once individuals in a group start talking about, whether it's Chad or here on the... we start playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon without realizing we're playing 6 Degrees of Kevin. He's in that movie with this guy. And next thing you know, you're 10 topics away from what the hell you started with. So I apologize. That's probably my fault.
I don't apologize. It is what it is.
30-year gap. I working with the awesome Carson and Dwayne and a bunch of other guys last year at the Tapatio Cliffs. I was a security guard. Don't worry, kids. I may be banned from the property, and they'll call the police if I... You don't need to know about that. But I kept the numbers of the haunted places on the property. It'll be fun. So what I realized was that they didn't know about the movie Tombstone, the movie Quigley Down Under, the movie True Romance, the movie Usual Suspects, well, okay, that's 90s, sorry. The movie, The Crow, that's... Oh, damn it. Tombstone is... Anyway, they did not know about those movies because no one ever told them about those movies, and they weren't able to find them on their own.
Now they're all on Turner Classic Movies.
That is true.
If you have cable TV, they all pop up sooner or later somewhere.
Yeah. You reach a point in the modern day that you don't really understand if you're not a Gen Xer or a Gen Xer hasn't explained it to you. Cable happened in 1982 as far as being affordable and the signal strong enough for a dimension was a great number of people. Before that, it was called On TV, and it was a satellite thing, and it was kind of dodgy because it was...
You had to have it aimed exactly right, and it didn't come on till 9 o'clock at night.
That's how it... And you had to, you had to know what you were doing to get that all set up. Dimension was a bit easier. Coaxial hookup, maybe the little, thing you screw in, get it all set up. So back in the day, movies were cheap and cinemas were playing all the time, and you would pay less money to see in the matinee in the early thing. They had dollar theaters, but even the expensive ones would have the early cheap ones, and they would play classic movies. So you'd get to see a lot of like old movies, and then later TV, and then later Saturday TV. So they would replay movies from the 40s and the 50s and the 30s and the 60s and the 70s. So you would see these actors and these things. Then later in the late 80s, your father walks into the room and goes, "Hey, that's that actor from some obscure movie that you've never heard of from 30, 40 years ago. It's the 30-year gap," but I didn't know what it was. I said, "Oh, no, I've never heard of that movie. Who is that guy?" My dad would stare at the guy and go, "Wow, he got old." Well, yeah, I mean,
we all.
That's a guy from the 40s. It's now the 80s. He got very old. And that, I realized I was doing that in the early 2000s to my kids. They would be watching a movie or something on cable and watching a show. "Hey, oh my God, I'm my dad. That's that guy." Might as well fulfill the destiny.
Same with me, only my kids were really into anime. enough so that if all three of them were together, they could go back and forth and act out a whole scene from an anime, each of them taking a different voice, and just have it memorized. He's like, all right.
That's my sisters and I with Clash of the Titans, the pirate movie, Grease, and Grease 2. We were stuck in
That
a
was
house
us too.
in the summer. Cable. Thanks, HBO. So that it occurred to me that movies are still, and shows are still a great much of our culture as radio serials and radio programs back from the 40s and the 50s, and the old movies and the old books. And I mean, they made Muppet Treasure Island. Treasure Island was written in the 1880s. We just talked about it a couple episodes ago. So
yes, Muppet Treasure Island is the greatest pirate movie of all time.
It's one of the greatest interpretations of Treasure Island ever. It's not exactly accurate, but who cares? Tim fucking Curry. That's all that matters. You don't have to have any. You could have just paper pictures in the rest of the cast.
I think he was the only actual live actor in that movie.
No, Jim, the boy.
Oh, that's right.
The kid is and really that should have been Robin, Kermit's nephew. Come on.
It should have been.
Well, Sam the Eagle is going to play Dr. Livesley. He's the Kermit, does this musical have any redeeming value? Sam sucks. He's so lawful. Anyway, so there is Val Kilmer is dead, but people remember artists for the end of their work, and nobody appreciates the kids of they can't appreciate Real Genius and Top Secret and movies like that because, well, that was culture 40 years ago. They don't understand why Animal House or Revenge of the Nerds is funny either, or Midnight Madness, or God, we could be here all day doing this.
Yeah, Animal House is one of those, slice of life movies. It was for its time. Like Porky's.
Yeah, well, Porky's. No one's going to understand whether they call her Lassie. Love Kim Cattrall. And that's why Better Off Dead was funny with his boss, Meyer. Got you figured for an idiot. Thank you. Because unless you've seen Porky's, who he is culture for the rest of the... To go back to the original topic, to segue and loop around, having Porky in Better Off Dead kept that character alive in the zeitgeist to an extreme, and it also showed that the characters, where's the beef, and I've fallen and I can't get out. The taglines, the catchphrases could keep on going. If they did Lethal Weapon now, they would have to do completely different characters, and Murtaugh and Riggs and the psychologist and other characters should appear the way the original cast of the Brady Bunch appeared in the Brady Bunch movies in the mid-90s, if that makes sense, the early 90s. Because they were all there, the ones that are alive, but they were not who they were. They were other characters in the film.
So you think they should all play walk-on roles in the movie?
Yes. For example, there is a part where Peter's character is getting harassed by a bully, and another older person speaks up, and it's the guy who played Peter. Oh, God, I can't remember.
The original Peter. Yeah, the Brady Bunch movie, of all of the remakes, the Brady Bunch movie was actually a brilliant comedy.
Home run.
It was a huge satire, a huge send-up of the Brady Bunch, even to the point where it wasn't one of the... I think it was Marcia. Marcia invited her friend over to stay the night, and her friend was...
Yeah.
Into Marcia, and Marcia was totally oblivious.
Yeah, because, Porky still holds up. Yes, it does. Thank you very much. I'm glad you agree. Thank you. You try to go back and you watch the old movie, you're like the Golden Child. What the
Porky's got
knife?
me in trouble as a kid.
I'm sure it did.
In junior high, I was
Uh-oh.
part of this group in school where we would go around as a group of students. We would go to the grade schools and talk to them about transitioning from grade school to high school. I forget what it was called, but it got me out of regular classes for like half of my 8th grade year doing this. We traveled around, the valley going to different schools.
Right.
And as a reward at the end of the year, the 2 counselors that ran the program took us all out to the cinemas at Christown to go see a movie. Well, me and 2 other guys went to go see Star Trek the Motion Picture. But as soon as the teacher was out of sight, we slid out of Star Trek and slid into Porky's, where we promptly got busted and kicked out of the theater.
Oh, my.
So we had to go at the end of the movie. That escalator that came down from the movie theaters there at Christown. We're sitting out there. The teacher's like, "How was the movie?" "Oh, it was great."
It was great. Is it Porky's 1 or Porky's 2 where Meat shows up late and they're like, "Where the hell have you been?" "I'm sorry. She wouldn't let me out of the car until I showed her why they called me the Meat." "What's your name?" "Meat." "What's your name?" "Blossom." And then the music starts. And I think that's the first one. I gotta go back and watch them. They're all a blur. The first one and the second one. Yeah. But you're right. Brady Bunch is just amazing because they made fun of it well. It was a total joke on itself.
And a lot of Brady Bunch actors made their Alice
cameo.
Made a cameo.
And
I like the whole running horn dog joke between Alice and
Sam
Max the Butcher. "What is Sam the Butcher doing here?" "He's delivering the meat."
Oh. Now I think that if they could grab a show from the early 80s, probably Facts of Life or Different Strokes, or Alice, maybe.
One Day at a Time.
Valerie Bertinelli and
Mackenzie Phillips and
Snyder. What the hell, the actor?
He
was in that and like 2 other movies.
Pat something.
He was great. He looked like a maintenance guy. He looked like a handyman. He's like, what's his name? I think it's Fred Miller, the guy that's in Aliens. They put the gremlins in the one. He was in like 100 movies, and he was great. He was a great, like, everyday working man character. Or even Too Close for Comfort with Ted. I'm a big Ted Knight fan. I love Ted Knight as a villain in Caddyshack. I love the fact that Ted Knight was a lot of the voices in the 1966 animated Justice League Super Friends. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, holy crap, that's Judge Smalls.
That's Ted Baxter from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great actor. He never gets enough credit.
Talk about a show that had an all-star cast. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Had Ed Asner,
Mary Tyler Moore.
Ted Knight, Mary Tyler Moore. Wasn't Betty White on the show for a while?
I think so. Didn't Dick Van Dyke do a season or 2 on that? Or am I thinking?
I don't know if he did. No, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore was his wife on his show.
Sorry?
She was Laura Petrie.
Oops. I'm not
That's
perfect. I don't
one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. I could go on about sitcoms the way you do about movies.
Yeah. No, they're good. I mean, even in mid-80s, Moonlighting, and these were all good shows that you just don't watch anymore. I got to sit down. I got all the seasons of The Greatest American Hero. And if you've never seen that, I still don't understand why that's not a movie now. A high school teacher gets lost in the desert, and an alien spacecraft gives him a super suit, and on his way back, he loses the directions on how to lose it in the deep desert. That's what the show's about.
And so, yeah, he's like Superman that doesn't know how to fly until some kid says, no, you got to do it like this.
Yeah, or he usually figures it out by accident or by with CGI. Why isn't that a show? That would be amazing with a green screen, especially.
I've heard rumors that they were talking about rebooting it.
I remember one episode, he figured out that he can see through objects. So Bill, the cop, who kind of becomes his best friend and super hot.
Wasn't that Robert Culp?
Yes, it was. Who is another amazing. I love him in Turk 182. He's one of the best bad guys that becomes a good guy by the end of the movie.
He got his start on I Spy with Bill Cosby, didn't
he? He's been in a bunch of stuff.
And I think that was the first sitcom, first TV show that had a black actor in the lead role.
I think so.
I Spy back in the late 60s. Yeah, he played a professional.
For the longest time, Bill Cosby was a hero. We don't talk about him.
Yes, he was a tennis professional that was actually a spy, and Robert Culp was his handler.
Robert Culp's always best written in a character that slowly gets angrier and angrier and then loses his mind, like in Turk 182. Where he's just screaming by the end of the thing, ah! Go get that kid before he gets killed. But that's a great show. I talk about a show called Misfits of Science. One day I'll finally get my hands on some episodes.
Yes.
But
I love the Misfits of Science.
That was Courtney Cox's first acting role. What's his name? John. He was in the Alien costume. He was in the Predator costume. He had several other roles. He was in a car accident, and they gave him a blood transfusion to save his life, and that was before we knew about HIV and things like that, because it was the mid-'80s, and he unfortunately did not make it out of the car accident, complications afterwards. But he was one of the main cast members, because he was a scientist that was like 7 feet tall, but he could shrink himself down to like this big by touching the back of his neck. But it only lasted for like 3 minutes. It was like, I was telling Clay, I remember there was one episode where they met this woman, and she could tell you what was going to happen to you like 1 minute before it happened to you. But only 1 minute before it happened to you. Oh, this is about to happen, and you're about to do this. And then they get into this whole conversation, and she's like, where's this guy? Oh, he's out there. Oh, I've got to tell him before he realizes that the elevator shaft doors are open, but the elevator is down. Oh, never mind. I remember like a couple other things. And then they had like a dude who was a rock star, and there was an accident on stage, and it electrocuted him, and he lived. And now he's got like Flash and Electro combined powers where he could run really fast. And once a day, he had to get rid of all the electricity or have a heart attack. It was 40 years ago. I don't remember. But it was a fun show. Fun, goofy, Knight Rider, Highwayman, Airhawk, Airwolf, with some of the Sequest kind of,
Near future science fiction, borderline cyberpunk.
Love those. Captain Power, this is your message from the future.
Lava being asked, was he named Crank?
I think so. I'm not sure. Signs point to yes. It's getting dark. It's getting dark and mystical in here. Deep, dark, and mystical, and hurt by girls long ago. Oh, okay. That's better. All right. Well, what's one of your favorite 80s movies, Clay?
Well, the 30-year gap that you were talking about, one of the movies that I was thinking about, that it's not really even a cult classic, but it's a very popular movie. John Wayne, The Cowboys. 1972. I looked it up.
That's not in the 80s, but okay.
That's not in the 80s. That's the 30-year gap, though.
Yeah.
That's part of the 30-year gap.
Oh, of course.
Because that's part of our childhood. You know, that's what we grew up with. You know, because we are talking about all the movies that we grew up with as
Of
well.
course.
Like you know, Kwai Chang King, the Kung Fu, the series. That wasn't in the 80s, but you know, it was part of our cultural upbringing.
It reruns.
It was
That-
in syndication in the 80s.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
reruns.
I'd say my favorite movies, there were some epic movies that came out in the 80s. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. By far the best Star Trek movie ever made.
Can't.
By far.
Can't.
Brilliant. You can't lose with Ricardo Montalban as your villain. Dude chews it up and spits it out. Also, you know, at the same time, we had the second Indiana Jones movie. You had
Well,
the
Raiders.
second
is 80
Star Wars movie. Raiders was 79, 81?
Wasn't it 84?
No, no, that was
Hold on.
Temple of Doom was 84.
IMDb shall solve this
And
discussion.
then you know, probably
I heard
the
it.
greatest horror movie of all time, The Thing.
Oh, that was a good one.
That movie had the ooga booga big time. I went and somebody wanted me to see that movie so bad that they gave me the $3 to go see the afternoon cinema. So I went on a Saturday afternoon to go see The Thing. It had been out for like 3 weeks. I was the only person in the theater watching that.
The only man brave enough to watch sheer terror for 2 hours. I hate
And
it.
I screamed like a little girl, and it's a good thing I didn't have to void my bladder because it would have voided. The one scene where they're all tied to the couch and they're sticking the hot wire into the petri dishes and they get to the one, and yeah, I won't go into details if you haven't
Yeah.
seen the movie, and if you haven't
Watch
seen the
it.
movie, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, really. We are both wrong. Raiders of the Lost Ark is 1981.
Okay, I knew because I had seen Temple of Doom before I went in the Army, and I went in the Army at the end of 84.
Gotcha.
So I heard a fan theory. Raiders of the Lost Ark is what Han Solo is dreaming while he's frozen in carbonite.
That's awesome.
Yes, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, in the hieroglyphics, while they're in Egypt, if you stop the frame in the right place, there's R2D2 and C3PO in the hieroglyphics.
That's awesome. Well, a long time ago, far, far away. So does that mean in Demolition Man, Sly is dreaming of Rocky and Rambo and Lords of Flatbush? Because it's a draft. Seriously, that's like the first 5 minutes of the movie. I can't sit there, it's a draft. Because he wants to sit next to the one girl.
Lava Being mentions Nothing But Trouble. We went and saw that in the theater. That was a weird
That
movie.
is a weird
Mr.
movie.
Bone Stripper.
He's the Reeve. That was a fun movie. It's John Candy and Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, but Chevy Chase's best movie is Fletch. I mean, Funny
Fletch
Farm's
was pretty
great.
good.
Huh?
Fletch was pretty good.
Modern Problems is funny. Three Amigos is amazing. Funny Farm.
I'm particularly fond of the first two Vacation movies.
I'm fond of Beverly D'Angelo, so yes, please, more Bev. Well, I mean, what is it? Him and Goldie. They're in the one with Charles Grodin. They made like 3. They kept pairing. They're a good pair if you think about it. He's really tall. He's dark. She's tiny and blonde and funny, and she plays the Bimbette very well, even though Goldie is no moron. I love Protocol, even though it's a goofy, stupid movie, but it's Goldie in various outfits, like going overboard. Or Overboard.
Yeah, Overboard was an awesome movie.
Yeah, it was. Her in a bikini for 2 hours. Anyway, that's not important right now. Right now we're talking about Chevy Chase. But him in Community, I mean, that's That's pretty awesome too. His Saturday Night Live career, I wouldn't take that away from him. But Caddyshack,
Ty Webb was awesome. What's the secret? Bionic sounds. And then in the second movie, he teaches Jackie Mason in Caddyshack 2. And Jackie Mason can't make the sound, so he's going, na 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 na.
I love
And the
Jackie
ball's weaving all around.
Mason. It's because he's a Funzanoon. What's that? That's a man who farts in the bathtub and bites the bubbles. Oh, God.
We had a different word for it growing up, but it is a rather rude word, so I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, really. Well, also in the wait, I gotta look it up before I talk because I think it's in the 80s, but the other smart half of my mind is saying, no, it's 78 or 79. Up in Smoke. Because
I think it was 79.
whole new 78. A whole new breed of movie, the stoner movie, really starts with Cheech and Chong, and they don't start out to be like Cheech, like they were talking about in their being interviewed. We didn't start out to be the drug comedians. That's just everybody laughed more at those jokes. So, okay, we'll play these characters. We're the drug comedians. Yay! Let's roll some joints. So, Up in Smoke and Nice Dreams and
Next movie.
Next movie, things are tough
Next
all
movie,
over.
Nice Dreams was the third one. And next movie was where they first introduced Pee Wee Herman's character. And then he met his end in Nice Dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't they
Things
bring
are
him?
tough all over. That was the one where they played dual roles, where they played the two idiots that got hired to drive the car cross country.
Yeah.
And they also played the two Arab guys that hired them.
and then Cheech also plays his cousin Red. Well,
Yes.
holy
Herpes.
shit! You've been
My
talking-
brother has herpes.
Herpes. You've been hanging around Cheech? Yeah, man. I was hanging around. He's still wearing them little hats. Yeah, man. He's got one of those hats. Great movies. Oh, that was part of the culture. It was part of the time. It was, just. It wasn't so like greasers and gang related. Up in Smoke showed you that just normal people smoke marijuana. That you don't have to be this amazing criminal. These are just two losers who want to make a band. That's a story all over America and the world. My mother's talking to me and trying to tell me how to live.
Earache my eye.
One of the greatest songs ever.
You know they actually released it as a single.
To my MP3 player. Yeah.
I liked it.
One of the best movies.
Jack Black has kind of picked up that gauntlet a little bit. Back in I want to say in the early 2000s, mid or maybe the early 2010s, him and Kyle Gass did Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny.
Yes. Great
Have
album.
you seen it?
Have
you seen the movie?
I have it. I've watched most of it. It's one of those, I'm going to watch this movie. And then, like, the universe will not let me watch the movie. Something will happen and I'll have to stop it.
It's a great movie. The Bigfoot part gets a little weird, but, you know.
That and the Brothers Grimm. I have tried to watch the Brothers Grimm with Heath Ledger and
Matt Damon.
I'm unable to finish.
It was
that
an
movie.
okay movie. It
I
got a
was
little bit gross at the end. My wife, she said, you know, I got unnecessarily gross in a couple of places. You know, and this is what sucks about that movie is when they were casting for the movie, the casting director was pushing to cast Johnny Depp, and the studio didn't want Johnny Depp. They wanted Heath Ledger. And so the movie kind of, and Johnny Depp went on to do Pirates of the Caribbean instead. And you saw where that went.
That became
Had
quite
it
a
been the other way
franchise.
around, you know, the Brothers Grimm, Johnny Depp, He had enough charisma that he could have probably sold the movie. It wasn't a bad movie, but it was obviously an attempt at starting a franchise, and I wish movies would stop doing that. Starting a movie with the intention of hoping it becomes a franchise, just make a good movie. Leave it open-ended at the end. But that movie was, it felt like a setup.
Hollywood. There's so many books and stories that they could be making movies about, but no, we're going to have, Fast and Furious 12. And I got that, but dude, just make Cannonball Run 9. It'll be fine. Make Gumball Rally 6. I don't know what Gumball Rally is. Didn't they do Gumball Rally like 20 years ago?
They did a couple of. I think they did a remake of Gumball Rally, but
there's so many car porn movies.
The original one was one of those ensemble cast movies from the 70s with all the comedians in it that, such a thing wouldn't work now.
No.
Because think of the Gumball Rally and all the people in it.
You can't do Gumball Rally or Cannonball Run or It's a Mad, 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 Mad World because it's too greedy today. Back then in the 70s and the 80s and 60s, they would all do each other's movies because they were all friends. They were all partying and getting wasted together. They were all drinking buddies. They were all gambling friends. And now
Hollywood was a community. It's not anymore.
Now it's an individual enterprise for each empire.
I think there are some actors that could probably pull something like that together. Jack Black is one of those kind of people that everybody knows him and everybody likes him. If he wanted to put together an ensemble comedy movie, he could probably get a lot of people to sign on to it. But I think that Yellowbeard was probably the last movie in that vein that we really got.
Oh, man, you just made me terribly sad. You are right, because Graham Chapman, Marty Feldman, John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, Eric Idle, David Bowie.
I was going to say David Bowie.
Okay, sorry.
And Cheech and Chong. And Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong and the fantastically talented Peter Boyle. Captain Moon. What a great film. Because Yellowbeard is basically like Treasure Island on acid.
It is.
Instead of Long John Silver's, he's Yellowbeard. He's this bizarre, like, superhuman character. There's John Cleese's Blind Pew. That's literally a character from... Why didn't they get sued for that? And, of course, we're going to get gross here, but I don't care. Madeline Kahn. Well, you've got all my attention right there. When we was having the cuddle. You mean when I was raping you? Not that I want to make rape jokes. That's not something to make jokes about, but yes. I love her. We want Dan. Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, the movies, the landscape behind movies has changed. An ensemble movie like that, would be very hard to do.
You'd have to have like a Clint Eastwood or another kind of elderly character that everybody loves, and he would have to be like, guys, do you want to do this? And then all of the A-listers would line up, and then it would be because
I'm hoping that's what we get with the second Spaceballs movie.
Oh my God, yes, please. I'm scared.
It's like a George Romero zombie movie. Everybody wants to be a zombie in a George Romero zombie movie.
Fuck yeah! Don't you?
Yes.
Where do I sign up? You don't even have to pay me. Just feed me
lunch.
lunch.
I think if Mel Brooks put out an open cameo casting call, a who's who of Hollywood would line up to crack a joke somewhere in that movie.
Oh, yeah,
and, if the whole movie was 2 hours of just one-liners and cameos, I would be happy as a clam.
That's all History of the World Part 1 is, anyway.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not the script, it's the talent. I mean, one of the best part about the movie Top Secret with Val Kilmer and Peter Cushing, and they keep breaking the fourth wall and making fun of the movie. And it's supposed to be a serious spy movie. I know.
Top Secret. There was also a parody of Top Gun came later, and I forget what that one was called.
Hot Shots. I think it was
Hot
called Hot
Shots,
Shots. With
yes.
Charlie
That
Sheen.
had Charlie Sheen, yeah.
And I think Louis Gossett Jr. was in it. And there was Hot Shots Part 2. And like Lloyd Bridges was kind of like this weird, like what's his name in the Police Academy movies? The old chief who's just out of it. Or Bill, what's his name in Major Payne? Sir, I'm reporting for duty. Oh, you're in charge of the Green Boys. When they stand in front of bushes, I can't see them. I love that movie. But that's not the 80s. Time Rider. Space Raiders.
I don't know that movie.
Came out in the 80s. Time Riders.
It must have come out somewhere between 85 and 87 because I don't know the name of either of those movies. I've never heard of either one.
Time Rider came out about the same time as Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood, and I
saw that.
Was a little
in the theaters in Germany.
Time Rider is this chrono experimental motorcycle that it's basically a ripoff of Back to the Future, only it's before Back to the Future, and it's not a comedy adventure. This dude takes a motorcycle and gets stuck in like the 1880s. And the cowboys, they want his motorcycle because what the hell is that,
Nice. Speaking of 80s, Back to the Future was such an awesome movie at the time. And at the time I was in Germany, our base had a single screen movie theater. A movie would come, it would be there for 3 days, and it would move on. And if we happened to be in the field at the time the movie came through, you just didn't get to see it. Maybe you didn't even hear about it.
SOL.
Well, we were in base when Back to the Future came. So we didn't know anything about it. We went and we watched the movie. It blew me away so much that after the matinee, I went out and got back in line and watched the movie again. And then when it was over, I went out and got back in line and watched it a third time. I watched that movie 3 times in a row because, it was the only way you were going to see it. And it was amazing.
It was an amazing film. So well done. Zemeckis is a great director. Frighteners, Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Forrest Gump. The list goes on and on and on. Frighteners is probably my favorite movie of his.
I've heard a rumor that they want to reboot the Back to the Future franchise, and they were going to cast Tom Holland in the Marty McFly role, and I forget the actress was going to take over the Doc Brown role. But when somebody asked Tom Holland, he's like, "No, that movie is perfect. Remaking it would be a waste of time," or something to that effect.
Yeah, it's Princess Bride. It's
Lava Being says Frighteners was Peter Jackson.
Crap! Oh my God, you're right. He was. I thought it was Zemeckis. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's still a great film, even though I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. You can review the tapes in the episodes. That's okay. Clay and I were having a discussion, and I got Heinlein and Dick confused. I got some Dick in my Heinlein and Heinlein in my Dick. I'm getting old.
2 of my favorite sci-fi authors.
It's probably Peter. Is it Peter Jackson? He's probably right.
Yeah, that's who he says. It was Peter Jackson.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just going, I thought it was Zemeckis? You can't be putting the Frighteners into people. Oh, you know what happens? You know what makes things better? Spelling.
What? Spelling. Yeah. Education is important, folks, but tacos is importanter.
Don't worry. I can teach you how to get out of any Spanish conversation. Simply look at the person speaking Spanish, smile, and happily say, "Rojo means red." They will laugh at you, smile, and go, "Don't worry, it's okay," and speak English around you from then on. Why can't I spell? You know what? There's an easier way to do this. Michael. It's
If
probably
you thought
Peter
you were
Jackson.
watching a professional podcast,
Boy, are you
you were
Boy, are
wrong.
you in for a surprise. 100% pure bar, folks. Like and subscribe. You won't be sorry. It's probably, I know he's right. But I gotta know now. I gotta look. You don't have to look. No, I gotta look. But yeah, Frighteners is I would say Frighteners is probably the best Michael J. Fox movie, too. And I've been watching him since Family Ties and Midnight Madness. Because he was on the...
I liked him in the Teen Wolf movie that he did.
Teen Wolf was good. That was a fun movie. Again, don't take it seriously. Just go with it. It's like Doc Hollywood. It's okay. Wasn't it 96?
Doc Hollywood, you mean Cars?
You said it first.
Same movie.
Same fucking movie. I thought The Frighteners was 96. Stuart Little.
Is it Frighteners or The Frighteners?
Oh, it is 96. We're going to reveal him being right and me being wrong. He is correct. I am totally wrong. Well done. Peter Jackson.
Lava Being, you are correct. 10 points to Gryffindor.
The council has spoken. 10 points. Gryffindor! That guy's got a great voice that does the hat. They're redoing the Harry Potter movies as a show instead of movies. Care. And I think that's better.
I'm indifferent. I like the originals. And she has a motivation for why she wants to redo the movies as a TV show.
Don't worry. Politics and religion can ruin any subject. Just add them.
Oh, no.
Just add a sprinkle.
No, I'm just saying that, I don't have anything against the Harry Potter franchise. I'm one of those people that can separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
But I've seen a Harry Potter story from the beginning to the end, and I enjoyed it. And while I enjoyed it, I was not enamored of it the way some people fell hard into Harry Potter. My mother-in-law is a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
My wife is a huge Harry Potter fan. I like Harry Potter, but I'm not the huge fan. And so I have no desire to watch the same story again, even though it'll probably be told better as a TV show because you can add a whole lot more exposition and you have the time to do it. So maybe someday I'll catch up to it. Just right now, I got other things I'm interested in.
If you've already read the books and then you watch the movies, you know that the characters are a shadow of who they are in the book. And you don't have to
tried reading the first book and I didn't get through it. From what I understand, though, is that they're written at an age level that follows the characters. And so the first book is very childish and they get more mature as they go along.
You were
Maybe at some point I will read, because my mom gifted me a whole set of hardbacks before she passed away. I have all her Harry Potter books.
That's awesome. I would say this. A friend from elementary school had a kid before I had my first kid. And you kind of learn a whole bunch of parenting through hanging out with your friend who has a kid because, well, the baby's not going anywhere, is it? So, when his son got older and then later I had a daughter, it was him that would... By about the time the second book came out, he was telling me about the first book. I know we've talked about this before. Sorry if you've heard this already and blah, blah, blah. It's just me babbling again. But it wasn't until the later books when my Paul and Kathy included, holy shit, it wasn't until my adult friends without children, who were all excited about the Harry Potter book, did my ex-wife crack one open. And it was Ray, the first one with he was the one who said that, and then other adults agreed that, yeah, the first one's kind of written for an 11-year-old, but as the book progresses, his situation becomes real adult real fast, and that kind of carries on through the rest of the books, where they're, like you said, it progresses as time goes on. You've read them, haven't you, Clay?
Oh, yeah.
No, I thought you said that. So, like you said, you might give them another try one day. I hope you do, but... I will.
I will.
Oh,
Someday.
I can remember Order of the Phoenix is about to come out. Oh, okay. When does it come out? It comes out on this night. Now, Christine being a super introvert and me being an extrovert, I will go stand in line with 500 people in robes carrying wands at midnight, waiting for the books to be pulled out of the boxes and put on shelves. So in that
at the time, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Say at the time, at that movie, I remember when that book came out, because at the time I was working for KEZ, local radio station, and one of my fellow DJs also did book promotions as a side gig. And she, was the promoter at one of these book premieres and was all excited about it. And, I guess it was each book premiere was a big production thing.
Yeah. Well, the Harry Potter series and the Song of Ice and Fire, because that was...
I've read all of those.
Well, I knew I was going to... You have read those?
I have.
I've got... Clay, did you read any of them? I have 2 and 3. I loaned 1 out, but it's gone. But those books are huge, and the Harry Potter books get progressively bigger as it goes. So I knew I was going to lose my wife she's going to be on the couch, but she's not on the couch. She's at Hogwarts right now, or in London, or wherever in the Forbidden Forest. And I would just, you're going to go to work, read the book, come home, read the book, go to bed, wake up, read the book, go to work. So here's the meals for the kids. I'll take care of everything. Then I came back into the living room at one point, and she had finished the book, and she was crying her eyes out on the couch. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? No, it's nothing. She was crying over the death of Sirius Black. And then you get to that point, you read it, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, I can understand why you were crying. That was a really kind of emotionally jarring death. The movie doesn't... The same thing kind of happens in the movie, but they set it up different in the book, and it's way more dramatic because you're attached to this character. He's Harry's uncle. And they hang out a lot more in the book than they do in the movies. In the movie, he's just like, Harry! And then he hides for the Goblet of Fire, and then by the time the Order of the Phoenix comes around, I want you to move in with me. What? So it's... There's a lot more in the books. They have this whole dynamic relationship.
There always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard for Sirius because when he looks at Harry, he sees James. But when he looks at Harry's eyes, he sees Lily. So even he does it in the movie too. He's like, James. Oh, sorry, Harry. No, it's okay.
Now Sirius was his mother's brother, right?
No.
Was he his actual uncle?
No,
he was a godparent of Sirius.
Godparent, honorary uncle. Sirius and James are best friends because Sirius he's a Slytherin. He should be a Slytherin. He should be following in the footsteps, but he's not like Remus and what the hell's the name of his other brother? Sirius has 2 brothers. Remus is Remus Lupin. Sorry. Yes. He gets with an R. Fuck. It's been so long since I've read those books. Help us. Your wife probably knows. I don't know.
She hasn't read the books.
Okay.
Rubius.
No. Thank you. Sorry.
It was RAB that was the initials that were carved
in the amulet
inside the locket. Yeah, the amulet.
Amulet locket, the jewelry. That's where one of the Horcruxes of Voldemort's was, and he was running around. Voldemort is Thanos. I'm sorry. It's like you got such a great origin story, and then the rest of your whole really you're going to attack a school. Really? You're going to destroy the universe? Have you really thought this through? Obviously not. Okay.
Some people are really, really angry.
Yeah. Yeah. Voldemort is also your, hey, boys, don't become this guy like Thanos is. Do not become the uber nerd where you fixate on one aspect of your life and the rest of your life just is... Don't be the jock in the Letterman trophy in the local bar. We went to state! Tom, that was 30 years ago.
Hank Hill.
Hank,
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. Rodimus Prime. No, I think it's Rubius, isn't it? I think one of you was right.
Well, I'll look it up.
It's an R, and
I
you're
have
right.
Technology.
R-A-B.
Yeah, it's the RAB.
Because they have to go through that whole thing. And book 1 is awesome. Book 2 is amazing. Book 3 is great. Book 4 is complicated and ends badly because Cedric dies. Book 5 is where the war is kind of already begun. Book 6 is kind of slow.
Regulus.
Regulus Black. We're both wrong, Lava Beam. I thought I couldn't remember what it was. I knew it was an R. I get points for that. 2 points for Hufflepuff. I don't know. I'm pretty brave. I run into fights and burning buildings. That would put me in Gryffindor, right? Or is that stupid? I don't know.
I took the test back when, Facebook was putting up the which house are you in? I was Ravenclaw.
I go 8.5 of the book Wheel of Time and realized not much happened and gave it up. Oh, my ex-wife said the same thing. Nothing ever happens.
That's
it's like
Song
Wagon
of Fire
Train.
and Ice for me. 6 books in, and not a single plot line has been resolved, but 50 more have been opened, and 25 of those have been abandoned.
It's almost like Martin got bored of like half the characters. He like pulled a Frank
think
Miller.
he's just
These
like,
guys suck. I'm killing them all.
it's just, I'm going to start a franchise that I'm going to write on until I die and never finish it, and that'll be my legacy. And this will be the 3rd franchise he's done that with, because he was involved in Thieves' World back in the day.
Oh, that's right.
And then he was involved in Wild Cards as well. You remember Wild Cards?
Yeah. I never.
The Wild Card books would have made an amazing TV series. The premise of the Wild Cards is there's this race called the Takisians, and they're not human. And I forget for what reason they were pissed off at Earth and had decided
So
that,
many reasons.
I think I forget the premise behind, but they wanted to destroy all humans on Earth, so they dropped this virus that was deadly to Takisians, which are similar to humans. But when they dropped it on Earth, it only affected 10% of the population. Out of that 10% of the population, 9 out of those 10 just died from a horrible mutation that their body didn't survive. Out of the 10% of those that survived, 1 out of those 10 got superpowers and became superhuman. The other 9 out of those 10 became hideously deformed, and they were called jokers, whereas the superhumans were called aces. And yeah, it was a series of short stories, compilation written by a bunch of different authors, the same way Thieves' World was, but it was a superhero world.
That sounds awesome.
And it had a lot of really good authors, and there were 6 or 7 books of it. After that, he took over writing the stories himself, wrote a couple, and then kind of abandoned it.
Well, he did Beauty and the Beast with Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman in the 80s, which was a modern take on...
Was he the writer on that show?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
George R.R. Martin. And that
he
was cool because Ron Perlman, if Linda Hamilton was in trouble in the city, and she's like Lois Lane, she was in trouble every episode, and he would sense it. Vincent, he's lion guy down in the sewers, in the like the sewer urchin in the tick world, and he would jump on top of the subway and hold on to it and ride the subway to get to where she was, and then he would break through a window like Batman and cry, go in there and fuck shit up and rescue her, and then he would disappear. And that was most
yes,
of
in the mid-2000s, they did a reboot of that.
Did they?
And my wife was a big fan of the show, yes. Although she would have to tell you about it. It wasn't one that I was watching at the time. But yeah, they did a reboot. It didn't follow the original, but, it was about Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast's name was Vincent, so it was the same characters.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's out there. I never watched the original. but I think I didn't watch the original because the night it was on was the night that some other show was on that somebody wanted to watch, and so I didn't get to watch it.
I missed so many shows because I was at work. Do you remember this show? I was at work. What about X-Files? I was at work. Parker Lewis Can't Lose. I saw an episode. What about this show? 90210 or whatever the Melrose. I was at work. I never saw it. I'm sorry. And then later, I had a kid. I saw like 2 minutes of it, and then I had to go change a diaper, or fill a water bottle, or be a dad. Get your dad pants on. So, what's another good one that's obscure that nobody has heard from? Also,
a lot of being mentioned. Night Flyers.
Night Flyers. Why does that sound so familiar?
I don't think it's one I've seen.
Is that?
I think it came out right before I came out of the Army.
It's an 80's movie. Now, is that the Stephen King, the Night Flyer with the weird vampire thing, or is that more like
Night Flyers is
87? Hold on, now I gotta go back into IMDb.
Now it's a TV series. In 2018, it was a TV series.
Oh, you're looking there already? You
Yeah,
are. You're one step ahead of me most of the time. That's
probably not the same.
Night Flyers. A man who does not exist. Yep. 87.
You're right. Short novella, and yeah, I see it.
George R.R. Martin. He's right. Catherine Mary Stewart. Right. Yes. God, I loved her in Night of the Comet. She plays the older sister. And great in Last Starfighter.
Oh.
Damn it, I'm going to have this.
Last Starfighter was great. Any movie with Robert Preston in it is a great movie.
Oh, God, yes. I had a second grade teacher that used to play the Go You Chicken Fat Go song every morning and made us get out of our seats and touchdown every morning. It's like, oh my God, this is from the 50s. My mom has sung this to me. Go you chicken fat go. I remember seeing trailers for this movie, and I remember seeing tiny bits of Night Flyers on cable way late at night and early in the morning. But other than that, I need to see this film now. Once again.
And then the 2018 show was based on an extended version of the novella. So I guess the TV show in 2018 was a reboot of the same premise.
You had a lot of weird movies in the 80s. Movies like Iceman and Altered States and...
Altered States.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Redhead. And not again. He wakes up in the zoo. He's killed a
Videodrome.
Videodrome is another great movie. Or even better...
Scanners.
Strange Scanners. Scanners, Dreamscape. What's another one that's... Boy and His Dog. All of those, like, horror... like The Brood and, Prophecy and things like that. Like the, oh no, we're all alone and here's a monster! Those are always fun. I love those movies. $5 says he's going to eat the entire family in the trailer. They're all dead. But then you get stuff like, Mac and Me and the one with Trumpy, you're angry? And all the low-budget fun.
Yeah, but we also got Labyrinth.
Oh, that's not fair.
Labyrinth wasn't a high-budget movie, but David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly.
And David Bowie, of course. It's not... Okay, Jim Henson, in the aspect of his influence in the genre of entertainment, how he once famously said in an interview, I don't consider myself a puppeteer. I consider myself an artist who works in the medium of puppets. And that was kind of esoterically profound in a way, because he's not really a puppeteer. He's not one of these guys that's doing Punch and Judy on the side of the boardwalk. I mean, this is...
No, he took it to the next level.
And then
Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal was entirely puppets. It had no live action actors in it.
I would go this.
And it was even a little bit scary as a movie for kids, you know.
Dark Crystal
The
is
Skeksis were scary.
The Gartham soldiers are terrifying. They're basically the alien xenomorph of that universe. Here's these alien insectoid things that are three times the size as the main character. And then you've got the mystics, these terribly powerful beings that don't do dick. They don't do anything. They're, and then they all fall asleep. Oh, you guys are great. Thanks. Thank God you're here. Hooray, we are saved. But his Sam and Friends and the one with Slim Pickens that my dad watched as a kid where the Froggy was the bad guy, and then like the New Zoo Review and Beanie and Cecil.
I remember the New Zoo Review. You know what happened to that show?
Actually, no.
After the first season, there was a fire in the studio and the sets and costumes were all burnt up.
Oh, no.
And they couldn't afford to replace them, so the show was canceled.
That sucked. I barely remember it because I was so little. There was an owl,
I love
a
the New
frog,
Zoo
and
Review.
a hippo,
Yeah.
and a man and a woman, and they sang and danced and solved each other's problems.
Yes. And yeah, it only lasted one season because the fire destroyed all of the properties for the show. And they weren't willing to replace it. It wasn't in the budget to replace them.
You've got the Sid and Marty Krofft, and you've got Before Sesame Street. You've got Mr. Rogers. So you've already got a medium of puppets, but like, Henson, like Lava Bean said, he's raised the bar. Here's a show for kids. Here's a show for the entire family with adult jokes hidden for the adults. Now,
Muppet Show, yes.
I'm going to make a movie about the show. Now, I'm going to make two more movies about two totally different universes that have nothing to do with show for kids, show for family adults. And he pulled it off. And then he answered that with Fraggle Rock. There aren't enough awards for him and Frank Oz.
Lava Being says that there are episodes of Jim Henson's The Storyteller running on an official Twitch channel 24/7. I love that show.
Can you post that in the chat so that I can get a hold of that and watch that? Because I've only seen pieces of it.
I don't think he's. I have it set up so that viewers can't post links in my chat because
we'll find it.
That could end up being bad, but we'll look into it.
That is on the list of I missed that. I was at work. Also, you know what I want to go back and watch? And all of the Showtime fairy tale things. Because apparently that was a friendship scenario that made that happen. And the Frog Prince, Shelley Duvall is the princess, and Robin Williams is the cursed prince that's a frog.
No. The
Larry
Muppets predate Sesame Street. They do.
Well,
the Muppets, Jim Henson's Muppets, have appeared on. They appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh, that's right.
That original Mana video, I'm pretty sure that was. If that wasn't Ed Sullivan, I know it predates Sesame Street.
Well, Sesame Street. I thought it was 67 or 68. That Sesame. You're probably right. I'm consistently wrong. This episode 71. Like and subscribe, folks. You won't regret it. Yeah, you will. It came to me in a dream. The origins of that song are wild too. The Phenomena song, Phenomenon. Do do do.
Yes, it was the original was Italian lounge music, Phenomena. I'm trying to see when the Muppets did.
From the 60s. Neat. I didn't.
Oh, it was for Sesame Street.
I didn't.
On the 14th episode of the show in 1969.
Huh. I didn't know until
the following Sunday he performed on the Ed Sullivan Show. Sorry. So go ahead.
It's okay.
I was just trying to finish the rest of it.
I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, I was interrupting you. I'm done.
My brain never stops. You can't interrupt it. I was going to say that Disney, Snow White, 1938, 1937. Didn't it just have a 90-year jubilee or whatever?
Something like that.
Disney's people did not write the hi ho, off to work we go song. I did not know that until recently. Bunny Berrigan, the amazing big band trumpet player, is the one who wrote that song. The guy was an amazing trumpet player and apparently an amazing alcoholic because he died of cirrhosis of the liver at 36. 36. I know I've talked about it before. I'm still like sad for his family and everyone around him, even though it happened decades before I was born. 36.
But I bet those are 36 enjoyable years. You know, that's I heard a theory once about there's two extremes of life. On one extreme, you have Buddhist monks that live in the hills in Japan, and they only eat rice and fish, and they live to be 120, 130 years old, a very serene life full of contemplation, meditation, and tending gardens. On the other end, you have Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy Davis Jr. is smoking, drinking, smiling, singing, dancing, drumming, living the life. You never saw a picture of the man without a shit-eating grin on his face.
Lost an
Drop
eye.
dead at 60.
2 hip replacements. Yep.
Drop dead at 60. Now, you can have 120 serene monk years, or you can live 60 Sammy years. Or somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. I do enjoy extremes, but in one extreme is total adrenaline, and the other extreme should be Buddhist monk, as you're putting it. You got to know both. We should live a dichotomous existence. Hard life. He did. Sammy was a terribly, terribly talented individual. He made it into the Rat Pack.
You know, it was because of him when he would go to Vegas and perform on stage with Frank Sinatra. They would not even let him stay in the hotel he was performing in. Yeah. When Frank Sinatra found out, he went and said, if he doesn't stay at this hotel, I'll never play in your hotel again. And all of a sudden, all the hotels on the strip changed their tune because the chairman of the board made it so. You know, say what you will about Frank Sinatra. You know, he went to bat for his friends. Big time.
You're not going to mess with old Blue Eyes. He's just going to destroy you.
Yeah, I heard he was a difficult person to be around at times, but you know.
Also, he was a lot
when
of
you're
fun.
The original boy idol, and I do mean the original boy idol. You know, he was Blue Eyes before he became old Blue Eyes.
He's been immortalized in Fallout. Most of the songs that are popular, it's not him singing it, but those were his songs.
Oh yeah, when you think standards, he's the guy that, you know, did most of those standards. And he's not my favorite Rat Packer. I actually like Dean Martin better and Sammy Davis Jr. I'm not a big fan. Yeah, I am not a big fan of Frank Sinatra's music. It's okay. It's just a little too sterile and, you know, doesn't quite have the swing to it that Dean Martin's did.
Martin was a little edgier, yeah. I'll give you that. I think Sinatra played what he thought that everybody was going to like. Whereas Dean Martin played what he wanted to hear, and Davis played what he had to play, and, well, Don Rickles insulted everybody.
Yeah, I heard from Dean Martin's daughter that when he was doing his TV show, that whole smoking and drinking, you know, half-drunk Playboy thing, that was all an act. Mm-hmm. He didn't smoke and he didn't drink, and that was usually apple juice in the cup because his daughter said, you know, he'd go to the studio during the day and record those shows, and he'd be home every evening and sit down to dinner with the family. He was a family guy. Yeah, that was an act, and I don't think he even really smoked, but he did it as part of the
Of
the act.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
watch enough people smoke, you know how it looks, and you don't have to inhale it. I mean, you're still in danger, but you know,
Well, nobody
Dean
knew
was
the
great.
danger back then, but
Was it the Matt
yeah.
Helm movies and
I was going to say, we were talking about James Bond last week, and I was going to seg into the Matt Helm movies and didn't quite get there. But they were awesome.
yeah,
They were the perfect send up of James Bond.
They really were. In like Flint and all the the Super Sleuth, that was popular the whole time. Because
Flint
Cold War was
kind of, our man Flint reminded me more of Doc Savage. He
yeah.
was one of the Renaissance Ubermensch kind of good at everything guys.
That's the
The
goal.
Doc Savage movie with Ron Ely.
That's that's the other thing that not to be the out comes the old man soapbox. One of the things that the younger generations don't get is that being a Renaissance man was kind of a big deal in the 80s. Being jack of all trades, master of none, but master of one. You had to know a little bit of plumbing and carpentry and cement and masonry and things like that because most of the time you couldn't afford to fix it. You had to do it yourself. So you asked your neighbor, you asked your friends, you asked your coworkers, and eventually you found somebody that could do it, and they taught you, and now you know how to do it. And it's even easier now. We have YouTube. Holy crap. You could just look up how to take a dent out of whatever the hell you're doing, And here's 8 videos. Today we're going to go do. Awesome, dude. Teach me. So. What was the movie called? Damn it. It's a high school movie. Michael J. Fox plays a younger brother. It's got the stereotype. So you have your nerdy black kid who's making a robot. There's something else going on. Oh, God, what the hell? It was really terrible. It was a terrible movie in the 80s, and they used to have it on cable all the time, like on Spotlight or Showtime.
I may not have seen.
Oh, can't. Oh, well. It's not. I'll remember the name of it later. But it was another Michael J. Fox movie. I should have looked it up while I was on his page. I got Outland. Sean Connery plays a cop on IO. I got to watch that again because I saw like 5 minutes of it on cable once. And I was like, oh, I got to see the rest of this. And then 40 years.
I saw that one in the theaters.
Do tell.
Yes.
Space drugs.
It was mostly a cop movie. It took place on a satellite. So it wasn't out on a ship, but it was near future. I don't remember much about it because it was a long time ago.
There's a lot of good sci-fi out of the 80s. Like you said, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, Back to the Future, Star Wars. But one of my all-time favorite movies... Oh, Nightbreed. That's another great... The book is the guy's name. It's not Nightbreed. It's... I've never read it, but my friend Marco read it and said it was really good. Clive Barker wrote it, and he wrote Weave World and the hell is it? Nightbreed was really good. I agree. So is Buckaroo Banzai. But Enemy Mine is Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid, and such a good film. I know zombies.
Saw that in the theaters as well.
Zombies get 4 or 5.
That was Lou Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid, wasn't it?
Yes. And Byron James is the bad miner guy that has all the aliens as slaves, and they kill him at the end. Let's throw the little woggy in the soup. I met him in real life before he died. I was on a movie, and I was an extra, and he was in the movie playing the principal. Nice guy. He's the general from Fifth Element. You've rigged the contest.
I'll need to take some pictures for the archives.
Yeah. Oh, Mars Attacks.
Where'd he learn to negotiate like that? I wonder.
Yeah, that's the actor. He was great. What the hell is that?
That was a very quotable movie. I am disappointed. I say that all
Very
the time.
disappointed. High School USA is the horrible movie I was trying to remember. 1983. It got 5 out of 5
I vaguely
stars.
remember
It's not
that.
that good.
That's 5 out of 10 stars. It's a 10-star rating on IMDb. So 5 stars isn't all that good.
It's one of the few beyond different strokes Todd Bridges roles, because he plays the nerdy guy who's a science. He's the science.
Now he's on TMZ or whatever it is, making wisecracks about people's videos.
Hey, Anthony Edwards was in this movie. I forgot all about that. Bob Denver, Gilligan.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it was a long time ago. Or
Nancy McKeon
yes,
was in that movie.
one of the funniest
Wow.
stupid horror movies. Like it's on the same level as Airplane and Top Secret was the movie Student Bodies, and that movie is one of those. It's so stupid, it's funny, and they make fun
Wasn't
of
that
like
a horror movie?
Yeah, they make fun of like Sleepaway Camp and it's absolutely terrible. It's up there with Pandemonium and a couple of other really bad comedy horror movies that are made to be stupid. Like if the Stooges or Abbott and Costello or the Marx Brothers made a horror movie, it would be this. But in the modern day of the
Abbott
early
and
80s.
Costello did make a horror movie.
Well, they made lots of them.
They
Yes, but
made several.
Not in the early 80s, no. You got me on that one? Yes, they did. Thanks. You don't have to make me look foolish. I can do that all on my own.
I find being foolish an art form.
You're not the best at making jokes about me. I'm the best at making jokes about me. I've had way more time to practice. Thank you. Enemy Mine is a very good movie. I absolutely love it. It's another good one. Prince of Darkness. Do we do Black Moon Rising? It's like Tommy Lee Jones's first movie. It's one of John Carpenter's Steel, the super hybrid car.
Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember that movie.
Yeah. So does nobody remembers it. Like the movie Hamburger, the movie. It's real. Nobody remembers it. Stewardess School Dropouts and all the other paramedics, the movie. Or Rob the Blacksmith and I were brand new. The Killer CD-ROM gun. Yeah. Dark Angel. I forgot about that. Yes, that one too. Rob the Blacksmith and I were, I think Paul was DMing. I don't know if you were DMing or not. And we had first started like hanging out. This was like 17 years ago, I want to say. And we were sneaking around, and I made a quote from the Danny DeVito movie Going Bananas. Goddamn sneaking! And Rob not only knew the quote and the movie, he continued to do the rest of the lines of the movie. He was like, finally, a new best friend. We've been quoting movies ever since, folks.
Good stuff.
Have you seen
it?
It's a Tony Danza, Danny DeVito. Tony Danza has an uncle that dies, and the guy worked for the circus, and he has these 3 orangutans that are trained, and Danny DeVito is the orangutan trainer, handler, caretaker. So he inherits these 3 great apes and a human, and they come live in his apartment and just like fuck up his life.
No, what I miss from the 80s is the Wayans brothers made some ensemble cast movies. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. And probably the greatest ensemble movie of all time, Amazon Women
on the Moon.
On the Moon.
And don't forget Mo Money, Mo Money, Mo Money. The fat man walks slow. Man, a fat man better lose some weight. Just let me in the damn
And
door.
Kentucky Fried Movie.
It's right on the shelf. Kentucky Fried Movie. I'm not wearing any pants. The best is the whole scene with Arsenio Hall, where the apartment basically kills him. And then he falls out the window at the end and dies. Oh, sorry, I have a dark sense of humor. That movie's hilarious.
See, I like bonkers movies like that.
Yeah.
And
They're
movies
silly.
that aren't afraid to, make fun of themselves. That's what made the first two airplane movies work.
The best of the second airplane movie, when the second in command is talking to William Shatner's character. Well, if that's all you've got to report to me, then I'll go and be in the tower. We have no tower, sir. No tower? No. We don't have a tower? No tower, sir. And then Shatner flips the fuck out. Why the hell are I notified about these things? How long have you been there? You didn't notice? And the guy's just like, and the second best part of that movie is every single time the guys on the space station walk through a door, they go, shh, and someone else goes, shh, and then the door opens and they stop and they go, shh, again, and the door closes every single time as a goof on Star Trek, and it's just fucking hysterical. To watch them walk up all serious and at the very moment of the door go, shh. And that opens the door. Sorry.
Yes, I love the absurd. That's what made movies like Brazil so much fun.
Oh, Brazil was amazing. I have to tell you, I'm in love with you. I don't even know you. I don't even know your name. She's driving
Who's
the
that?
truck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know your name. He's like, I'm in love with you. David, or no, yeah. Is it David Price? Isn't that his name? Brazil was such a good movie.
Jonathan Price?
Jonathan Price, not David. Where the hell did I get that
Yes,
from?
he was he was the villain in Goldeneye.
Goldeneye, and he's Mr.
Yes.
Dark. He's perfect for Mr. Dark. The way they describe him he's not tall enough, and he's not covered in tattoos because he's the illustrated man. But every other part of being that character, Jonathan Price nailed it. Just nailed it.
He was also in The Brothers Grimm.
Is he really?
He was the villain.
See, I haven't
The
even
Grams must die. Yes.
I have to see that definitely now. He's great as a hero. He's great as a villain. Because in Brazil,
he's got
the
that
hero.
smug smile that makes him the perfect villain.
Yeah. He would have been just as, I mean, the movie was the movie, but Wild Wild West, I think he would have done just as well as Kenneth Branagh did, not taking anything away from his performance. I love him as an actor. I've seen all of his movies. I got to buy Dead Again and watch it again because that was such a good movie, and I remember seeing that. And walk-on cameo, Wayne McKnight, Newman from Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name in Jurassic Park? He's
I know the character.
he's a crime scene photographer with a speech impediment. And a stutter.
Nedry, Dennis Nedry.
Dennis Nedry, thank you.
In Jurassic Park, he was
Park.
Dennis Nedry.
And he's the one that helps Kenneth. Kenneth Branagh's a PI. He's a private investigator. And Emma Thompson's character, they find her and she can't talk and she has amnesia. And they're trying to figure out who the hell she is. And it's a time travel reincarnation movie, basically. And it's really good. Dead Again. Kenneth Branagh. Brazil is one of my favorite Robert De Niro movies, even though he's only in it for like maybe 10 minutes of the whole movie. Because he's such a bizarre vigilante superhero, but he's needed in that world. They need him. They need him swinging in on zip lines to fix air conditioners.
It's all about the ducks.
You know, movies like Solar Babies and what was another weird? Because The Road Warrior.
What was the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh, the worst movie I've ever seen. Showgirls.
I've seen some bad ones. Showgirls was bad.
I think Showgirls was one of the most recent bad. It's bad because it's kind of got a nothing plot. You go from being a stripper to running away to Vegas, then you become a showgirl, and you basically fuck over other showgirls to be. You become the best showgirl, and then you leave. Wait,
For me,
what? Otherwise, Manos, Hands of Fate, hands down. But I only know about that because of MST3K, and then we looked it up, and oh my god, that movie has like the worst backstory ever. And a fertilizer salesman lost a bet, and he had to make a movie. So he made Manos, Hands of Fate, and it's the worst fucking film ever created.
for me, right up there was Battlefield Earth.
You said it
Oh
first.
my god, what a piece of crap that movie was.
It was based on the book. Clay, are you still with us? Are you going to chime in on worst movie ever? Oh god, it came right up. Well,
Now, I had another
minutes.
one that was on my mind for a second there, and then it escaped me as a truly bad movie.
It's sad that Barry Pepper was in that movie because he's such a great actor, and Battlefield Earth was just so terrible. He was great in Knockdown Boys. I loved him in Save It Private Ryan.
But yeah, Battlefield Earth was an absolutely horrible movie. It was, John Travolta's love fest for L. Ron Hubbard.
They don't even look like Cyclos. They look like Rob Zombie's mutated planet. The shortest Cyclo is 10 feet tall.
Yes. Another movie that I thought was particularly bad was Alone in the Dark with Christian Slater. It was a horror movie based on a video game from the mid 2000s. And it was, it had Tara Reid in it as a scientist.
I love Tara Reid, but not as a scientist.
Really, yes. The movie was so bad that about halfway through it, my wife and I had rented it. About halfway through it, the disc started messing up, so we stopped and just returned the movie. We didn't even ask for an exchange or refund or another copy because we didn't care to see the end.
Put it on the.
Wow.
Not nearly as bad, but extremely dry and boring was the Superman movie with Brandon Routh in it.
Yeah.
That movie made no sense. The best part about that movie was Gene Hackman. And no, Gene Hackman wasn't in it, but Kevin Spacey was playing Gene Hackman in it.
Parker Posey was in that. I remember that.
Yes.
That part I liked.
But, basically, he was made a whole island out of kryptonite. And Superman flew an island of kryptonite into space. Come on.
He has X-ray vision, and how is he not going to see that coming?
I don't know. The movie was just, it wasn't bad, but we fell asleep halfway through that movie and returned it too and didn't care to see the end of it.
Man. See, I fell asleep watching The Brothers Grimm twice, but that was because of exhaustion, not because the movie was boring, because I was super tired.
No, the movie wasn't bad.
No,
it just wasn't great.
I usually enjoy good, bad movies. I mean, hell, I could watch Flash Gordon right now from the 80s if we put that on. Gordon's alive! That's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's terrible, but I'm gonna watch it again and again and again.
Queen soundtrack. How can you lose?
He'll save every one of us. Can't lose with Freddy. He's the best. That's why Highlander is even better. Because even though it's sword fighting and rock and roll, it's Queen. I will be loved.
And the Nintendo Buff has asked me about
Whoops.
some stuff here.
Bill Murray. Groundhog Day.
Yes,
Um,
a movie with water in it.
Waterworld. Love Waterworld. Oh, Waterworld. That was a local theme park here in Arizona, and that was their commercial on the radio. No? Okay.
I'm looking at all of his. Scrolling back through stuff.
Water. Well, I would say, what about Bob? But that's just one part. I'm a sailor on a boat sailing. Meet the first meatballs. Doesn't he teach the kid to
Yes.
sail?
Yeah, Meatballs had some water in it.
Life Aquatic. Oh, you're totally right. That is a
Oh,
weird.
I have
good
not
movie.
seen that movie.
It's exactly. It was terrible. It's him chasing a shark that killed his friend for an hour and a half, and it's your classic Wes Anderson movie. Visually, it's very appealing because it's bizarre. Everything is set up. You've got all these talented actors, and the script kind of waffles a little bit.
Doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's fun to watch, but he's right. It's terrible. It's
and
not What About Bob. It's not Where the Buffalo Roam. It's not.
This is going to be an
Groundhog Day.
unpopular opinion, but
Please.
how you feel about that movie? I feel about James Cameron's Avatar franchise. Wonderful movies to look at, very empty stories. In fact, Avatar is basically a retelling of Pocahontas, the white savior story. And it's, visually, it's stunning. We went and saw the movie in 2D,
Jeez.
and my wife fell asleep for 45 minutes and didn't miss any major plot points because they spent 45 minutes of that movie just going around showing you how cool this planet was and flying on these weird dinosaur things. And, she didn't miss any plot points.
We have air conditioning. We have air conditioning on Earth. We've got Circle K. We've got those too. We got Piggly Wiggly too. See. Yes. Well,
And so I had no interest in the other ones.
I've seen the end of the first Avatar movie 3 times. The end. I have seen the last part of it when they pull the dude and the aliens are all pissed off and they kill the other guy in the mech or what. I don't even know what's going on. I just know one dude is dead, and the other dude, they're like, because he's not what he thought. I don't even understand what's going on.
I guess Stephen Lang's character comes back for the second movie. I thought he died in the first one, but evidently he
don't
didn't.
even know who the fuck that is.
Stephen Lang was the military guy.
Know who the
Yeah, you know who Stephen Lang is,
actor,
but you
yes,
know, yes,
I don't know who,
he was the military commander in Avatar. He was the guy in.
He's in the
He
big
was the
robot at the end.
gung ho rah rah rah. Yeah, that was him.
Okay. Your best military Stargate, the movie I watched multiple times with
Kurt Russell and James Spader.
James Spader. I was going to say Raymond Reddington, but yeah, James Spader. And
Yes, we all
it's
know.
a great show. And Kurt Russell, and that was a really good take. But I don't think that's 80s. Didn't that come out in the 90s? They
Possibly.
brought in his cloned brother. Probably. That
No,
sounds
no.
like-
In Avatar, it wasn't a clone. They had built an avatar for a scientist who died. His twin brother was a Marine who had been paralyzed in action.
Okay.
So they brought in the paralyzed Marine because he was a twin brother and his DNA matched up to the avatar. And they didn't have time to develop a whole new avatar for another scientist. So he was brought in. And of course, because he wasn't a scientist, he was a Marine. He ended up leading a rebellion.
Oh my God!
It's basically the Pocahontas story.
Mixed
You
with
know, here's the poor natives, and they need a white man to come save them.
mixed with Evangelion. Okay, we've got this giant robot, and it can only be drawn by the. Here, we have to stick this up your ass so you can pilot the robot. What?
I fell asleep about a third of the way into Evangelion. 30 minutes into all of the alien creatures being introduced part of the movie, which took way too long. I fell asleep and missed most of it.
That. Yeah. I love anime. I've seen several Japanese movies.
I love Luc Besson. That's the whole reason I went to see Evangelion.
But the problem with sometimes there's too much suspense for Americans building up the. I get it. Okay. Oh, can we get on with this now, please? So I'm kind of with you on that one. The shows were good. Again, Paul gave me. Oh man, I think I saw all of the shows and then watched 2 of the movies. Please forgive me if that's incorrect. But Evangelion, I mean, it was good. It was kids and robots fighting giant monsters. One kid's constantly crying and beaten up, and you're not sure what her origin is. The other chick's a major bitch. The one kid is, Dad, love me. I don't have time to love you right now. And, you know, it's your classic anime from that time period.
I think it probably didn't help that at the time I went to see it with 2 other people, and they went to see a 9 p.m. showing. And I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work every day. Asleep. And so 9 p. Yeah, I checked out. The movie. It was visually stunning, but it just didn't go anywhere.
This is cool, and I love it. Can you poke him or something? I'm trying to listen to the. Oh man!
But I was hoping for, something along the lines of The Fifth Element, and it just wasn't there. I think what didn't work for that movie for me, and maybe it fit the character, maybe it fit the media that came before, but the character looked like he was 13 years old, and I couldn't buy that as an action hero.
He kind of is.
But it didn't work for me.
Animes take it or leave it. You either like it or you don't. And anime seems to follow the same theory as Americans. Okay, this animation sucks, but the acting and the writing and the story is great. Hey, you're right. This acting and story is terrible, but the animation is amazing and the cinematography is great and the director really knows what. Yeah, those are your 2.
Every once in a while, the stars align, and you get a Ghibli film.
There is, Spirited Away, and then there's Project A-ko.
Spirited Away was an amazing movie.
Yes, it was. That's
not my favorite Ghibli, but it's right up there.
Yeah, but you don't have.
I actually like Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, that's so cute. But and also you don't have to have it doesn't all have to be Princess Mononoke. You can have My Neighbors the Yamamotos, which is basically kind of like The Simpsons. Only it's way simpler. It's just a normal, your average family from Japan and what their life is like. And then when the Americans dubbed it, Jim Belushi plays the dad, and what's her name plays the grandmother, we all love her. She's Dot in the Animaniacs. She's the old lady in Futurama and in The Simpsons. Agnes, that means Lamb of God. You know my name, Marge. She plays Skinner's mother. What's her name? Tress McNeil. That's her name. She's amazing. So she's the grandmother. So you don't have to have, 10-star anime to have a great plot. Look at Dr. Katz. The animation sucked, but all of his patients were stand-up comedians. I mean, not in the show, in real life, playing crazy people and people that need help.
Anime was never, something that grabbed me. I know people that if it's anime, they're going to like it because it's anime. And it's like,
if it's anime, I'll watch it. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. Let me tell you at the end.
if it's anime and the subject sounds interesting, I might watch it. But like Paul and my adult children are. If it's anime, I like it. Without ever having seen it, I like it. They're like, no, I can't.
You got to remember, we were given when we were very young. We were spoon-fed Battle of the Planets and Speed Racer. So that is the basis for most of Gen X and Hello Kitty for how we've been introduced to anime over the years. Before Robotech, before Voltron, before Silverhawks and Thundercats and Tiger Sharks and all the other stuff that came after that. There was Go Speed Racer, Go Speed Racer, and woo,
I
Rover
love
One
Speed
Rover,
Racer.
the Battle of the Planets. Was a I can't remember that. One guy was the cuckoo bird, one guy was the owl, one guy was a hawk, one guy was an eagle, and the girl was a dove, and they all had. It was basically Voltron before it was Voltron.
I remember that.
The recent is far better than it should. Yeah, is that the one that Christina Ricci's in? Because if so, that was so awesome. And John Goodman, that was actually really good. I agree. It was like really good for being based on a cartoon, and I loved the like crazy fast animation that the old style, like when craziness is going on, they like sped it up in pure spectacle. Absolutely.
Now, have you seen the Wachowski siblings movie Speed Racer?
I think it's Christina Ricci and John Goodman in it.
Yes,
I think that's the one we're talking about.
That's one.
Yeah,
amazing movie. Amazing movie.
Okay.
If you've not,
I
anybody out there, if you've not seen it, see it. The race scenes alone are worth the runtime of the movie. If you're into cars, they're done in a slightly anime style, but they're amazing. And the story, while there are times when it leads you to think that it isn't really following the original, it actually is. It is very much.
I've got to help Speed. If I don't help him, they're going to destroy him. We'll get you, Speed Racer. This will be your last race.
One of my favorite things in that movie was at one point, John Goodman's character and Speed Racer are walking down the street, and you can tell that they're standing on a treadmill and walking as the scene scrolls by behind, very Flintstone style. That movie was a live action cartoon.
Yeah, it was.
And you have to go into it thinking, I'm watching a cartoon portrayed as a live action movie. It really was. And they kept the cartooniness of it. All of it.
Yeah, and it added to the movie. It made it a lot more fun. Since we're talking about the 80s, and I really wanted this to be a good movie, and I remember my father taking us to see the movie in I think it was the Aztec in Tempe, the theater that used to be, it's gone now, but it used to be on Mill, if I remember correctly. I was really little.
The one at Mill and University?
Yeah. And
that theater is still there. It's been renovated. It's a Harkins now.
Oh, it is? Oh, well,
but the building is still there.
This is absolutely one of the worst movies ever made. However,
the remake, that wasn't the Harryhausen version.
It is.
Was it?
Harryhausen did the Minotaur and the Trog and the big saber-toothed cat, but really nothing happens in this movie. But it's kind of like an old plot.
It's an old D&D adventure.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is totally a D&D adventure, but with Sinbad instead of like, okay, roll me.
Wasn't there more than one Sinbad movie?
Yes. There's the 7 Voyages of Sinbad. I think there's the Golden Voyages of Sinbad. There's Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. There was a cartoon movie, and I think Val Kilmer did the. Oh no, I gotta look it up. Damn it! I shouldn't have brought it up in the first place. But yes, this is a D&D adventure. This is not a movie. But I will watch this 5 more times because this is on the same level as the Barbarians movie with those 2 weightlifter twin barbarian guys.
Oh,
with New York accents, but it's supposed to be.
No, I love Harryhausen's claymation,
Stop
his
animation.
his stop motion. Yeah,
Clash
Clash
of
of
the
the Titans
Titans.
is my mother-in-law's favorite movie.
Just such an amazing film. You were talking about your kids reenacting anime movies. Clash of the Titans is my sister's. In my mind's eyes, I see 3 circles, round of gold. When she's giving him the. What you see is the clawed hand of Calibos, the ring he wears. Yeah, we watched that movie so many times and saw it in the theater.
We went and saw it at the drive-in. The Big Sky.
Nice. That's the one in Glendale, right? Isn't that still open?
No, that was the one. Big Sky was the one
McKellips?
behind the Kmart at Indian School and 43rd Avenue.
That's a totally different side of town.
It was, yeah, just up the street from the Pop Shop, which later became Rockers, which I believe now is a Mexican nightclub.
I think so. Oh, God. But
I'm never in that part of town anymore.
I'm shocked how in the 80s you couldn't drive 5 miles without seeing a pool hall. Now I don't know where a pool hall is.
It was the Golden 8-Ball Billiards down on Indian School. What a dive that hole was.
You know what that
we
is?
spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, we did. You know what that... Well, I wasn't there with you guys.
It was
but
24/7.
You know what that is now?
What?
It's a Goodwill.
Doesn't surprise me.
Indian School and 35th Avenue. Venus, come here, baby. My poor old baby.
No, the Golden 8-Ball was at 27th.
27th and Indian School.
Yes.
You came in and you could walk down and there, but yeah, it's a thrift store now. River City Pockets, that was up here at Bell and like 12th Street, that's closed. Video Roundup on what?
I remember Video Roundup. Yeah.
That's gone. It's a thing of the past. The only real arcade that's left is the one at Castles and Coasters. The round castle. I can't think of any others.
There's
Fiddlesticks is
one.
closed.
No, there's one
Dr. Jack.
in Mesa called the Starfighter Arcade. It is only open in the evenings, Fridays and Saturday nights. It's pay at the door, all you can play, classic video games and pinball.
Really?
Starfighter Arcade.
Let's
I'm gonna
put
look
that
it
on
up.
On the Facebook page. Because yeah, I mean, we used to go to pool halls, we used to go roller skating, we used to go bowling, bowling alleys have held on. There's actually more bowling alleys than there used to be, but now the pool halls have disappeared. And the whole, it's not the Music Man and the night. Oh, we've got trouble. Right? Pool hall was just you go and you play pool. It's a good time. It's a billiards.
There you
is
go.
a
I
fun
put
game.
the link. Starfighters Arcade.
Nice.
We'll have to.
Farters.
We'll have to put together a trip one night and go out
yeah.
there and bang some video games.
Thank
The last time I was there, it was they open at 7, and I think it was $11 all you can play.
What? That
Yeah.
Dig Dug game
But
is
it-
going to know my wrath.
It has Dig Dug.
Does it really?
It has, yes, it does.
Golden Axe.
Has a lot of pinball. Yeah, it has a Golden Axe and Golden Axe 2.
Is it Xenomorph? Is that the Aliens game where you can have 4 players and you go all over the spaceship?
I'm not sure. I know that they
I love that one.
now the guy that owns it every other year in Mesa, and I don't know if they did one this year. They do what they call ZapCon.
Yeah.
ZapCon is a old school video game convention. Basically, they rent out the Mesa Convention Center, make one of the main halls into a huge video arcade, and you pay one price at the door and play all day. And it's got retro video games and modern video games and pinball games, and yeah, they do it every other year.
That is,
We'll have to. I'll have to. Yes, and it's the guy that runs Starfighter Arcade is the one that had sponsored that. He owns a lot of vintage video game cabinets.
I love video games. I'm not very good at them, but I do love them. I try. Well, I mean, God, we could. VIC-20, Commodore 64. Texas Instrument used to have a video game called Hunt the Wumpus, which is basically a ripoff of the Hoth Planet Monster Wumpus in The Empire Strikes Back. And it was one of those move around and try to avoid it before it catches you and eats you kind of thing.
Old school video
Old
games.
school. Now, video games they're movies. It was around 98, 97, 99 when actors started being voices in video games. And I'm glad in the last 27, 28 years that has really taken off. Because that's kind of where they belong. That's their inevitable place eventually, you know.
A lot of being saying that the Galloping Ghost outside Chicago is the largest in the world and is open year round. I was in Chicago last August. Had I known about that, I would have dragged my wife out to it.
Hell yeah. Oh, she wouldn't have to drag her. She probably would have went willingly.
No.
It would have been fun. Come on. Where are we going? I want to go. Here. Oh. Lead on. What's another good? Yeah, we couldn't make the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor. Well, in fact, since I'm talking about that one. And it's like, this is such a good movie. And then you watch it later and you're like, oh my God, this movie is super racist.
I want to point out, for those of you that joined late, we're doing this on 2 channels, here and over on Hornswoggle the Great. Pop over there, give him a follow.
Please.
We need to elevate him.
I beg of you.
Yes, we need to elevate him. So give some love.
Over here. Harryhausen. Long may he
Yes.
The best is Burgess Meredith as the theater.
Philatides, or whatever his name is. I don't know. I don't think he was Philatides in the movie. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how to answer that, but he definitely was a wonderful character that's through the whole movie, and he rarely gets any credit. Here is another amazing film that they did not need to make a show about. But if you haven't seen it, watch it. 1988. Willow, Val Kilmer, Warwick Davis, the amazing Joanna Whalley. Sorja.
Yes, Willow was a great fantasy movie. Did you know that when George Lucas was first writing his film treatment for Star Wars, one of the early drafts was going to have the twins together in the movie?
Really?
And he was going to cast dwarves in the roles.
Dwarves. Yes. And my axe. It's a lightsaber. And my
Not
lightsaber.
those kind of dwarves. I mean short people, actors.
Like midgets.
Like Warwick Davis.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. That would have been awesome.
That Luke and Leia were supposed to be, twin midget people in the movie, and that would have been an entirely different movie.
It would have been, I can't. Burgess Meredith was an amazing actor, and
yes,
you
he
remember
was the Penguin.
Well, yeah, he was, but that was 1966, so I pretend that doesn't exist. But it was great, but it was terrible. But it was great. He was great in Rocky.
He is in one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes.
Yes. I've got all the time in the world. No. He's wonderful in Grumpy Old Men. He's like every old guy you've met in a group of people. How are you doing today? It's butt cold out here. Oh, okay. Because in every group of old dudes you meet, there's always one like super old guy, and you're like, whoa, how are you? Ah, get the hell away from me. Oh, okay. Burgess Meredith also teamed up with the Chieftains, and he does a reading for their Bells of Dublin album, which is it's like 30 years old. It's not new at all. Well, Burgess Meredith's been dead for how long? Grumpier Old Men is like this last movie, and that was in the early 90s. Because all of those dudes are dead. Walter Matthau's gone. I think Jack Lemmon's dead, isn't he? I don't know.
Pretty sure Jack Lemmon passed away a long time ago.
Yeah, he's pretty tough. He might be still around, so I don't want to. I don't want to piss Jack Lemmon off.
I love it when you see actors that you thought weren't around anymore appear in a movie. Like the first night at the museum. The first night at the museum, Dick Van Dyke, Mickey frickin' Rooney, and who was the other one? Was it Ossie Davis?
I think so, because he's been in everything.
Everything.
I like those movies. I thought they were cute.
I
They're
thought
another
they were great.
Don't judge.
Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt was brilliant.
Yeah.
He nailed the role.
He's great, but one of the most entertaining things were the Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson was it was Owen Wilson's.
It was Owen Wilson as the little Roman soldier
in the little cowboys, and they were always up to something. That was, and then Ben Stiller goes, "Why are you guys doing that?" Well, we decided that. Listen, Gigantor, we just.
Yeah. Another great Ossie Davis movie is Bubba Hotep.
Every Sam Raimi movie is good.
One of the finest portrayals of John F. Kennedy ever in a movie. Because if you remember the movie, his character...
Bill Cobbs? I don't think it's Ozzy. He looks like him, though.
Okay. I was going to say,
he's passed away, too.
Yeah, when Mickey Rooney appeared in that movie, I thought he had already passed away.
I thought Babe 2 was his last movie. I was as shocked as you were. Holy crap, he's still alive? How you doing? Whoa.
I'm surprised that Dick Van Dyke is still kicking.
Huh. Or Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's still running around his own neighborhood. They just had pictures of him a little while ago. He's like 96 years old. He's killing it.
Yep. Still active.
Is that the defibrillator paddles you just put in for we were talking about how old he was? Or is that... what is that?
I think it's just LOL.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's an LOL
it is.
emote,
I am
yes.
so going blind. I can still see far away. I can still read a digital clock from 3 rooms away, but I can't read something like right here. Yay!
I'm farsighted too. I need bifocals to read close, but I can read traffic signs a mile away.
I've now gained my father's eyes. Read this to me. Where's your glasses? Just read it to me. Okay. It says that, and I would like make half of it up, and you'd be like, "What?" No, I'm joking. What's another really cute? I was thinking. Also, what's really interesting is how willingly iPads, cell phones, tablets have just taken over. Like, Kyle Reese is rolling in his grave that it hasn't been born yet. But
oh yeah,
because we survived through HAL 9000 and War Games, Joshua, and Electric Dreams, Edgar. This is a dumb movie. That's on the list of bad movies. Or My Demon Lover with Scott Valentine.
I love My Demon Lover.
She put the Pazowski. Yeah. Once you said that at the gaming session, I was like, I love My Demon Lover. Hey, Mallory.
It's like if I say that, there's only one place that comes from.
Yeah, there's only like.
And I was surprised anybody had seen that movie.
Only like you and I and Rob and maybe Chris and Ed are gonna get that reference. Your son was like, what?
He's not seen that movie.
Well,
he's one of those anime people. He knows all about that.
That's okay, but there's lots of other movies out there. It's that whole growing up and trying to beat the machismo. I hate musical. Oh, we lost Clay. I hate musicals. And then you realize, like, oh man, most of the movies I absolutely love are musicals.
I've embraced the musical a long
Yeah.
time ago.
I did too. They're fun. What are you going to do?
The Music Man is still one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, but it's got to be Robert Preston doing it. No, it can't be anybody else.
Yes. No, it can't. I've tried watching the Matthew Broderick version, and I like Matthew Broderick, but he's not Professor Harold Hill.
No.
You know, when that movie was being made, it transitioned. It was a stage production first, and Robert Preston starred in the stage production.
I believe it.
When it was being made into a Hollywood movie, they were looking for A-list actors to take on the Harold Hill role, and they approached Cary Grant with it. And Cary Grant's response was, not only will I not be in the movie, if you don't cast Robert Preston as Harold Hill, I won't go see it.
Yeah, but he is that role. That's it's like having somebody else play Jack Sparrow. Unless he looks exactly and can move and talk, and it's not. You're an imposter.
No. And of course, Johnny Depp, he said the reason Jack Sparrow moves that way is because that's the way malaria victims that have neurological damage
That's the way
behave.
Hmm.
That's the way they move. And so he studied that. And, you know, at some point in the past, Captain Jack Sparrow had a bad bout of malaria and has been affected by that. And that's why he moves and acts the way he does.
It's like dogs in distemper. They all get a neurological tick or a... I agree. He was great in Inspector Gadget. That was a fun movie. That was an awesome cartoon. What does Dr. Claw look like? Do-do-do-do-do. Penny and Brain. And that one guy that he always got, who was basically his M, that gave him all the assignments. I can't remember his name. It's been 40 years.
Go, Gadget Brain.
Well, this generation is different because you don't have the major television networks feeding cartoons to children. So they're not like inundated with G.I. Joe. They're not running home to see Voltron at 3:30 and the school gets out at 3 and I'm not going to make it and I've got to go 2 miles to get home. And luckily I've got my bike. So, I mean, it's a different kind of world now. They don't have Transformers and you don't have like Galaxy Rangers. I think is a very Ferris Bueller's
Never
Day
got
Off
to
was
see
great.
it. People tell me about Galaxy Rangers, but it was one of those happened while I was in the Army thing. I've never seen an episode.
It was a heavily influenced anime, and it was basically like if you saw the other side of the world from Cowboy Bebop. So where Cowboy Bebop, you're dealing with bounty hunters, but they have kind of like this cowboy theme. Galaxy Rangers, you're dealing with the Rangers of the galaxy. So it's kind of like Texas Rangers in space. And each one of them has a superpower. But it was like one of the few comics that, or few cartoons that they straight up killed people. Because the one guy who's, oh God, how do you describe Goose? He's based on Clint Eastwood, like 100%. The way he's Dirty Harry. He's basically bleach blonde Dirty Harry, and his power is he can turn his body into any, like if it's a water planet, he can adjust himself so he has gills and fins and flippers and stuff.
He's adaptable.
He's adaptable to every single climate for every single planet. So you can't like kill him with nature. You have to shoot him with bullets when he's a person. The following the trope, beautiful redhead with psionic abilities, telepathy, telekinesis, cryonics.
That's never been done before.
No, neither has the black guy with the super technology with little programs that talk to him and go into stuff, and they're basically like R2-D2.
Mr. Terrific.
Oh God, yeah, he is Mr. Oh my God, I never saw it. Probably because I didn't read a lot of DC when I was 12.
I didn't
really
either. I only know from
Marvel.
because Mr. Terrific is in the most recent Superman movie.
And even Batman said at some things he's smarter than me. because I don't have the time to research fucking everything. I have the
Well, yeah,
advanced general
Batman
knowledge.
is, yeah. Bruce Wayne is a master detective, and he's a master martial artist, and he's a very rich dude. But Lucius Fox builds all his doodads.
3 superheroes. It was on a documentary I was watching because I watch a lot of geeks and nerds that do comic book. I watch all the stuff. I support it. I subscribe. We're a community. I mean, not to get weird, but we were having this discussion. But that, you know, YouTube is like Amway and Avon for, like, you know, you can make money at it, but really you're trying to help everybody and get, you know, it's one of these. So there was a cartoon, or I mean, a documentary on the comic books, excuse me, not a cartoon. And they were saying that there are only like 3 of the superheroes in the DC universe that can perform, like remove a bullet, like do open heart surgery and stop like a heart attack. It's Batman, Mr. Terrific, and I think the Atom is the 3rd one. Please, if you guys remember.
He's a scientist. So
he's
I was never a big DC fan, so I don't know the lore the way I know the Marvel lore.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got shot and you just happened to be standing in Gotham and Mr. Terrific came to visit Batman, wouldn't you feel safe having those 2 guys remove the bullet, even if it was in your head or your chest?
Yes.
I would. I'd be like, well, okay. Do your stuff.
And of course, in later iterations of Batman, it would have been Alfred removing the bullet because apparently he's a combat surgeon, among other things.
No, I never had those cartoons again. No, you're exactly right, too. He's a combat surgeon, and, well, who do you think takes the bullets out of Batman when he's unconscious? Alfred has to clean everything up.
That's why I like the version of Alfred from the TV show Gotham. He was played by Sean Pertwee, who is the son of John Pertwee.
Doctor Who.
Doctor, and there's a picture of Sean dressed up as his father, as Doctor Who, and he looks just like him.
Doctor Who number 3. He was the more badass physical fighting Doctor
He
Who.
He was also the outlandish, foppish, crazy outfit first Doctor
for
Who.
the first time, and then you get Scarf with number 4, Tom Baker, and then it gets fuzzy for me. I think
Peter Davison followed Tom Baker.
Is the next
after
one,
that, yes.
Sorry.
And then there's one after Sylvester. I don't remember his name.
And then it's until the 90s, and then there's that. It's either a mini series or one long episode, and he actually looks more like he has like the Hobbit wig on as Doctor Who, and he's got more of like a late 18th century. Almost like
I've not
Groucho
seen any
Marx
of those. Yes,
it was only on like once, and then they never played it again.
And then of course the reboots. I wish Chris Eccleston had stayed longer as Doctor Who because I really liked his version.
I did.
I like David Tennant.
Totally.
I really didn't like Matt Smith.
There was something.
I didn't. There's like a certain level of disrespect for the role that I just didn't like. Yeah, he had nothing. He had no clue. He had never watched Doctor Who. He didn't know anything about it when he took the role.
I like,
and then they replaced him with Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi. Excuse me, he did a really good job.
I thought some of those episodes got a little bit over the top silly, but they were good.
They were good. I think they were trying to, like, you know, a lot of times when
bring
it's
back
gone
the
14 seasons and they're just tired of writing it. Yeah, they just make it goofy, and they don't want to do it anymore. But I won't watch the one with the woman Doctor Who because you've now destroyed a crucial part. It's one thing if he's male and he's going to reconstruct himself as a male every time. Once he can reconstruct himself as a female, now you're left with the question of, well, how do you follow their bloodline on their planet if they can spontaneously be male or female? How do surnames work?
Well, I don't know how that works, but he's the only one left. But I don't delve too deeply. And, you know, I stopped watching during the Matt Smith and never really picked it back up. But I don't have a problem with who they cast as Doctor Who. There were only supposed to be 13, and somehow they've reconfigured that and broke the canon. And so that's, kind of fell off of it.
I agree 100% because now it's just, plots out the window, anything goes. Oh, man.
Yeah, and then they bring back one of the old doctors because he was popular. It's become more fan service than it ever was.
That's when you weaken a lot of stuff. But, time travel. What's that? It's a convoluted plot device, Ren. What? A time machine? It's the same kind of thing. It's like, it's dimensional now and time. If you're going to bring back other, because if they can't exist in the same, like you said.
Well, there are several different theories of time travel that we could, we could spend a whole episode on just the various types of theories on time travel.
Time travel is bad all the way around. Don't do it. Did you read the book by H.G. Wells? Come on. You want the Morlocks in here? Is that what you want? Do you want Morlocks?
No. Reality, though, of time travel is if you traveled 100 years into the past, you are likely to contract some sort of viral ick that you have no immunity to, and you're going to die a horrible, snotty death. That's what happens when you go to a different time. The same as if you brought somebody from the Middle Ages here, chances are they're going to catch a modern flu virus and die a horrible death because their body isn't, there's 700 years of human evolution that he hasn't caught up to.
Exactly. And kids today would know that had they watched Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, because that happens in one episode where kids from the future come back to like 1960 Spider-Man time, and one of them almost died. I think the boy almost dies. And Mr. Fantastic is like, oh my God, Reed Richards, he's like, he doesn't have any white blood cells. There's nothing in his body that can fight off disease or infection or bacteria.
Because
or
in
virus.
The future, it's all been eliminated.
Exactly. So they have to figure out how to send him back before he dies, and then,
Then they send him back with disease and kill the future.
Kill everyone in the future. Good. You're welcome. Thanks. He's a big, beefy guy, Mr. Wiggles kitty. Yeah, they don't do the same. Well, the world has changed. It's not our world anymore. It's their world now. Do you want to jump up in my lap? Is that what you want, big guy? You're like really into cuddling with me. Like, come up here. I'm only going to jump up half of your body. Okay.
He is a big fluff.
He's 21 pounds. Here, I'll move into this chair, and you can get a look at him.
Oh yeah, I see him
right near my kids in the hall.
He reminds me a little bit of my kitty Khan, who is over 20 pounds and extremely fluffy.
He's a big beefy boy.
Oh, now he's going to come get in the other chair.
Come on up here, buddy. He just started doing this. Like, I was working today, and he's big, and I'm trying to, assign people's visits for clinicians, and he's, trying to lay on my keyboard and cuddle with me, and I'm like, I have 7 more hours, sir, of this. Cats. They're feline teenagers. You can't reason with them. Here, I got my lava lamp and my oscilloscope in the frame. There you go. I got nothing to touch.
And your Darth Vader.
And my Darth Vader. I can't use the oscilloscope right now because I have nothing to scan. But there you go. I got it. That's all that matters. And Darth Vader. So yes, there is a 30-year gap. We've got to educate the youth because they don't know. Just like, your father would come into the room watching cable and go, that movie from that guy. And now you got to go to the warehouse and then later Blockbuster or Video Update or one of the other rental stores and go, whoa, Beth, that was the movie Dad was talking about. We should rent it. It's probably going to be terrible. Oh, it's going to be awful. We should get it because Beth was always down for a good, terrible movie. She's my sister.
If you have me sit down to watch a terrible movie, you have to understand that if you tell me ahead of time that it's a terrible movie, there will be commentary.
Yes, there will. Well, the problem is that Beth became, she hasn't done it in 100 years. She was into Rocky Horror Picture Show, like playing Janet on Mill, Rocky Horror Picture Show, where I never saw it in the theater, and then I rented it thinking, what is this all about? And then I watched it, and I'm like, this is absolutely terrible. I can't believe people like this. And then it was explained to me, because ignorance is bliss until knowledge becomes depression. No, moron, the movie's terrible. It's an... You say
the
stuff,
experience.
and the toilet paper,
Yeah,
and
yeah, you got to go have the experience, because you're right. The movie was not very well made,
the movie's terrible,
but it was an awesome
but
movie. Did you know they made a sequel to it?
Yes, shock
Treatment. It's not a direct sequel. It's Shock Treatment.
I have not seen it.
Yeah,
I was close. I knew that much.
I've seen parts of it. It is worse than the original. It's worse than Rocky Horror. At least in Rocky Horror, the music was good.
Yes, and the songs are fun.
Shock Treatment is not so much.
Oh, they didn't hit the one. It's just a one-hit wonder. Riff Raff is a very the intruder is entering the building, master. But really,
you know,
oh, go ahead.
That's the guy that played Riff Raff. Was the guy that wrote the movie and the play.
Yes,
he wrote it all. He was the creator.
For Disney, he is the dad of Ferb on Phineas and Ferb. He's the dad in the show. So my kids are watching the show, and Christine she's like, that's Riff Raff, that's Richard, I can't remember his last name. And I'm like, oh my God, really? So every time he's on the scene, the first thing he says is, hello, boys! And I would bust up laughing, because all I can picture is him with the long blonde hair and the humpback and, from Rocky. But he's actually really funny in the show as their dad. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's one episode where they think he's a supervillain. And he ends up going to the supervillain convention, and they're like praising him. Oh, time to go. I love Phineas and Ferb. It's such a great cartoon.
I've seen a few episodes.
The best is...
I know that one of the villains is Professor Doofenshmirtz,
yes. Right? Well, he's not their villain.
I always did he's Perry's villain.
Yeah. He's great. Yeah. He's a lot like...
And he has the same voice as... Now, to me, he sounded like... not Scrooge McDuck, but Professor Ludwig von Drake.
Oh, honestly, yeah. You're right. He is kind of more like von Drake.
Paul Frees doing the German accent, yeah. Yes, the Professor Doofenshmirtz, yeah.
I couldn't stand it. My mother always loved my brother Roger better than me. I love Doofenshmirtz. I love when he accidentally is cool for Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. Your dad's cool. You're my punk rock boyfriend. You're not supposed to think my dad is cool. It only counts if I think he's cool. She thinks I'm cool. I've seen the show a lot.
It's right up there with Dexter's Laboratory.
It really is. Dexter is hilarious. I love the way Dexter is
Omelette du fromage.
Always pissed off no matter what's going on. Get out of my laboratory! I can't... What's... Dee Dee? Isn't that the name of his sister?
Dee Dee. No Dee Dees!
No Dee Dee. Meanwhile, she's the ballerina.
Super secret laboratory. Nobody can get into it except Dee Dee.
Except Dee Dee. She gets in there every single time. One of the best cartoon, but it was more of like a CGI, is Jimmy Neutron. The movies were great. The show was great.
With the hair on Jimmy. Oh, no, yeah. I'm thinking Johnny Test.
No, not Johnny Test. Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron is basically if Batman was a small kid and his parents never got horrifically murdered, and his father was a car salesman who was obsessed with ducks instead of being a world-renowned surgeon. And his mom is actually the brains behind it. And Jimmy has two friends, Carl and Sheen. Sheen Estevez.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. I think so too. And Sheen is that friend that you've had as a kid, and he's like the Superman obsessed kid. except it's the character's name is Ultra Lord. Ultra Lord. One time, Ultra Lord was over there. That's all he talks about is this character. He's always got an Ultra Lord shirt on, but the fact that his name is Shehan Estevez.
I'm sure that escaped most of the children.
Oh, it does.
Anyways,
Oh,
we are at the end.
oh man. Well,
We've come full circle.
Did you want to go further? I can go further.
I can go further.
We're talking about cartoons. I may stay up for another 3 hours. That's not true. I have to go soon because I have to be at work at 5 a.m. 5 to 2, Monday through Friday. Pinch me. I'm probably dreaming. No, it's real.
Cool. Yeah.
Finally.
I'm supposed to be at work tomorrow, but I called out today because insomnia was kicking my ass. And so I'll probably call out tomorrow too, just because.
There's a lyric from a Billy Joel song off the album Blonde Over Blue. And it's the song Blonde Over Blue, I think. Or was that? The Rivers in the Middle of the Night. That album.
Oh, The River of Dreams.
River of Dreams. Thank you. God, it's like right over there. I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. How the fuck can I not?
I am too. But first final rock and roll album I owned was 52nd Street.
Oh, good album. My favorite's probably The Stranger. I think I've just almost destroyed the old CD I had playing that.
Stranger, 52nd Street, Glass Houses was a 3-record run that just can't be beat. Glass Houses has my favorite Billy Joel song. Don't ask me why.
That, yes. It's on my. It's just a great
I had the
song.
45 and I
Do you
cranked
really?
it. Yes, I do. I had all of his 45s off of that album.
I have an extensive LP and 45 collection, and I might call one of those dudes that's the mobile come and buy it. And I've got, I inherited from Ron on the council's mother and father. I've got all those Time Life, Tchaikovsky, and the thing is this thick. Time Life, Beethoven.
I wish. I've got all my grandparents' old records and a lot of my mom's old records. I had a colossal 45 collection. I left it in the care of my sister when I went in the Army, and out of 200 plus 45s, most of them pictures, a lot of them collectibles, there were like 30 left and none of the good stuff because her friends came in and picked it all apart, or maybe she sold it to Zia for I don't know what, but I was devastated. It was like my most prized possession. And that was when I learned that I can't trust my siblings not to destroy things that are precious to me.
One of the albums that's over there is signed by the entire band, and it's Huey Lewis and the News Sports.
Nice.
The outside of the album is signed, and by their comedian, Dr. Gonzo, who used to warm up their show, every show.
Yeah, it's sad what happened to him.
It is. He was a nice guy. I met him.
He's still around, but he's deaf now, and that's why he doesn't perform anymore. He completely lost his hearing
from concerts. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have a record player in the setup anymore, and you know, it's not like it.
My record player is all packed away, and all my records. A lot of my stuff has just been packed up for a while because I think when we moved in here, it was never the intention to stay here long, and so I never unpacked. And here it comes on. We've been here 20 years.
Never say never. What's the Chinese proverb? When you move to the new place, if you stay months, plant fruit, vegetables, and fruit. Or no, vegetables. If you stay years, plant trees. So, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. What? Oh. It's a shame that The Last Starfighter didn't make any more movies, but it was kind of over. It's like The Princess Bride. You don't need to have a sequel. It was a one and done.
Yeah,
no, like Willow. You don't need to have a sequel. It's done. It's done.
It was like Highlander didn't need to have a sequel.
No. And it was that sequel. That is the worst movie ever made. In fact, all movies that are bad are compared to Highlander 2. It's either as bad as or almost as bad as.
I actually went with Ken Carter to see that one in the theaters.
Ken! I miss Ken. He was so cool. I hope he's
He's
doing
around
well.
somewhere.
He's more than welcome here.
I haven't talked to him in a long time.
The last time I saw him was one of Paul's parties. Whatever Paul's last party was, I think Ken was there. Because I remember talking to him for a while, but there were a lot of people there, so I was like, I got to catch up with everybody. Was that a Halloween
that sucks
party?
because I didn't know he was there. It probably wasn't because I was at the Halloween parties and I would have noticed Ken if I had been there.
I might be getting my years confused. If I am, forgive me. And God, dude, you guys really amassed a network of people between Dungeons and Dragons and SCA and doing Ren Fair and doing. You guys were all into the computer stuff, so he had like all these people that and Firestone and Chris Turner and Jim and all these. I remember going to his first birthday party that I went to, and it was the first party where Morris dancing was happening, and I know you were there, and there was probably 1,200 people
was it
in
at
that
his
backyard.
parents' house, right?
That backyard was standing room only.
Yeah,
Sean
I remember.
Williams, go ahead.
I was wearing a lab coat and a doctor's badge that said A.S. Hole, proctologist.
You and I had a conversation, and that was the very first time we met. I was dressed as a Shadowrun character, and I had a chainmail vest on that was made out of coat hangers. And all of the SCA people and all of the D&D friends were obsessed with this. Ryan Shields had made it by wrapping hangers around an end of a drumstick, cutting them, and then linking them. And he taught himself how to do chainmail. This was in 89, 90. That's how long ago it was. I still have it. It's in my shed. I'll have to bring it out for the next. There's no way I can get it right now. It's dark and late, and I have to move a shit ton of stuff to find it. It's at the bottom of a thing. I know it's in a box. But yeah. And I was with Jason Barth, who was dressed as a vicar vampire, and I
remember him.
First wife was there. Jason is one of the most
because
amazing.
My buddy Mitch was there, and he was dressed as a vampire, and he had made comment about Mitch. You remember Mitch Simons, tall, skinny guy?
Yes.
Yeah,
he had long hair too, didn't he?
He had long hair.
He was skinny, really skinny,
and had bad teeth.
Well,
they've since been fixed, but
they are. And Tony was there, and just a whole bunch of the original.
Tony.
Like Georgie was there, and Renee and
Georgie had just come over
just getting
from
into
England,
America. Yeah,
because
his accent was super thick back then.
That was when Paul was my roommate at the time.
Really?
Yes, when he moved into his aunt's house and took it over.
Yeah,
me and Shehan, Mitch's brother, were his first roommates.
Really?
Yes.
That was a long time ago. I think Mitch was the one
very long time ago.
I think it was Mitch. He came over, and this was in the 90s, and I think it was mid 90s or later 90s, and I could barely remember him. And we all got along, and we went out back. We're getting ready to smoke, and I think it was him. I think he told a story where he had run out of screens for his pipe, so he couldn't load any weed in there. And they couldn't find a screen around the house. So he went outside and he noticed that the windows... Is this the same?
No, you're thinking of Dave Davies.
Dave Davies. Okay. Wrong guy completely. But they cut a screen out of the screen and tried to... And it went... do not do that.
It was plastic.
You do not do that. It is plastic.
He cut a piece of plastic screen.
And he had really long purple hair. And this was at a time where nobody had colored hair. Like, that was not a thing. Like, only like...
Dave was always weird like that.
Like, only raver chicks that you wouldn't date them, but you go do a rave with them. But only they had, like, Rainbow Bright stuff going on. Now, everybody looks like a venomous beetle. But, that's the times. That's where we're at. Sorry. Dave Davies. Okay. I don't remember if he was at the party because there were so many people there.
He probably was.
Yeah, I think everybody was there. Paul was so wasted, and Paul's hated drunks was not a drinker. despised drinking. So to see him extremely wasted that night, but it was his birthday. And I guess Ian gave him cocaine. Because I remember he came up to me and he hugged me and then he like fell on me and I grabbed him and he's like, I am so fucked up right now. Okay, Paul, I just got here. And I was with John. Paul Hornsby was with us and he was the werewolf. And I can't remember what Ryan was dressed as. And Katie was the vampire Victor's victim, and she was a vampire too. And Alex, he was dressed as Alex what's his name? That wasn't his name. But he was dressed as Alex from Clockwork Orange. Because I came with like 7 people. Because I'm like, Paul, he's like, yeah, come on over. And okay. So we all got dressed up and we all went over there. Because I borrowed Ryan's vest and one of his airsoft pistols. Because it looked like a Predator too. That was a magical night. What was that, 90? 91, 92?
Oh, that was early. That was before I was a parent. I remember it was me and my now ex-wife.
Because I remember you coming out of the crowd and saying something really funny and everybody laughed. And then I remember reading your badge out loud and then everyone busted up. Well, I'm loud, so my voice carries, and then we talked and then other people pulled you away. And then, because we were like the brand new friends in a group of giant friends that were from all different aspects of Paul's life and his cousin's life and there wasn't like, it was just like a whole massive group of people all dressed in costumes.
It was the good old days.
I spent a lot of time talking to a guy named John. He had a wife named Teresa, and she was dressed as a matador, and he was dressed as a bull. And then several times after that party, John had a really good connection, so Paul and I would go over there to score. We'd get like an ounce or a half ounce. And John and Teresa had no children, but their siblings had children, and everyone they knew but Paul and Timmy had children. So they built a treehouse in the backyard on this massive tree that had to be like 50 feet high, and it was very well trimmed.
I think I've been. They had a big property, and they'd have parties around the bonfire.
Exactly.
Yes, I've been to a few of those parties.
I
remember one New Year's Eve when they threw a Christmas tree on that bonfire, and everybody had to back up 50 feet because the thing went up like a bomb.
Paul told that story, but I wasn't there. I thought it was cool because they had a ramp up this tree, and it was like what you see.
You could go up in the tree and hang out.
And there were couches and tables and drinks, and it was like walking up like World of Warcraft when you're in the Night Elf area, how they're the platforms to go up the trees, and there's like a house at the top. That's what it was like. Only it was in stages as we went over there, and I guess they broke up in like they broke up before Paul moved into 15th Avenue in Bethany. That's how long ago all of that was. Because
that was where I was roommates with Paul. Was 15th and Bethany, just around the corner from his parents' house.
Yep. So it was a long time ago. But that was, sorry guys, here's a bunch of people that you don't know about that had really cool, interesting lives. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. You might have met him. You never know. Paul talked to everybody. So do I. So does everybody. We lost Clay. Rob couldn't make it. This was a good show. Thank you for joining me. Thank you guys for. We never even gotten to the days of the year. Did you know that today is National Milk Day and National Rocky Road Day, National Love Your Dentist Day? What was the last one? It was weird.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Who cares? We're done.
Anyways, this has been the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. I am Jingo the Fool. Catch me over on my Twitch channel here, The Ship of Fools. Saturday nights, you can catch me here and on the Real Women of Gaming channel, running Deadlands, Hell Hath No Fury, RPG action. Every Tuesday night, you'll find me here with this guy running my mouth with whoever else we can pull in. And Bill, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. You could have watched anybody, but you decided to watch us, and that means the absolute world to us. YouTube and Rumble, all that liking and clicking and subscribing. Yeah, you hear it 100 million times, but it doesn't really ever mean anything. Nice to meet you, too, as well. Thank you for joining us. It doesn't really mean anything until you're actually doing it. And then you're like, oh, my God, like and subscribe. So I understand now. The same thing with the hashtags, #. I didn't get it. Now I do it. Oh, my God, now I get it. I get it now. I'm teachable. I can be taught. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And from all of us to all of you, have a wonderful night. I don't think I have any. You did the plugs.
And stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy. Stay geeky. Body and Soul Candle. It's June now, but Christmas is right around the corner, and Lauren's candles make the excellent, most wonderful gift ever. Thank you very much. You guys have a great night. Thank you, sir. Always an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Always. Good night, Twitch.
Good night, Twitch. Good night, Twitch. Wherever you are. We are.
All right.